God bless, guys. God bless, God bless, God bless. We're back again with another live stream. Welcome back to the Apologetic Arena Live. I'm your host, Israel. You can also call me King Context. And today, I'm going to be showing you again, as I continue to do, right now, Mondays and Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UK. We are here in the Apologetic Arena Live, taking calls from people from different Muslims, Hebrew Israelites, Orthodox Jews, atheists, etc. Depending on what the topic is, today we're going to be talking about how Islam is bad for men again, in contrast to Christianity. Welcoming any callers in, just to get the house cleaning out of the way. Number one, make sure as you come in, like the live stream, share it with someone that you know that this will be a blessing to. Again, these are live streams done to help you defend your faith as a Christian against different arguments. So the argument we're going to be dealing with today is one that I've continued to go back to week after week after week, and it's based mainly off one video which has kind of just shaped the conversations we're having. So regardless of what platform you're watching on live with us today, right, there's a link pinned in the chat section. You can call in that way and you can have a conversation if you want to, and you can tell us why Islam isn't bad for women in contrast to Christianity. And hopefully we can get some good callers today, which can defend their faith ultimately. But again, this is going to be good conversations today by the grace of God. That's pretty much it. Yeah, all right, cool. So again, hit the send in the hearts, like the video, etc. This will all help and preempt, because as I've said previously in the past, right, if you want to learn more about how to defend your faith, right, in these sorts of settings, in these scenarios, Muslims have been known to report the live stream for us reading their own sources and calling it hate speech, which is mind-boggling and crazy to me. But this is why you need to like it. This is why you need to send hearts in. This is why you need to decide to share this stuff in advance before any of that sort of stuff potentially happens. So again, we're looking to take conversations today from any Muslim who wants to call in. All right, and again, it's not a surprise, right? But we always get these sorts of comments. So for example, someone's here saying, "Who are you to decide someone's religion?" Well, I'm not deciding someone's religion. That's not the point of these conversations. But I hope you keep the same energy when I start playing the video of the Muslim talking about how Islam honors women more than Christianity, right? And trust me, if I was doing this anything for views, there's much more I could do to get views, right? So again, we don't need to start engaging in like ad hominems and, oh, you're doing this for this and you're doing it for that, etc. That's pointless. Let's actually have conversations which are actually beneficial and actually get to the truth of what's actually being said here. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, and apparently technically I am. Okay. Technically, I'm making my opinion known in response to videos like we're going to listen to in a moment, which say the opposite. Okay, and the reason why this is good is because I like this sort of comment, right? This is where I come from, because this comment here is saying one Muslim woman didn't speak for all, and it's not even necessarily about a Muslim woman or a Muslim. Well, we're not talking about an individual. That's not how I do things. I have conversations based on the sources. So for Christianity, we're going to be looking at the Bible. For Islam, we're going to be looking at the Quran and the Hadith, etc. So we're not talking about what one Muslim does in one place or another Muslim does in another place. Even if we talk about a majority of Muslims in one place or a majority of Christians in another place, we're going to go back to the books that the people say they believe in and what it actually says. Okay, cool. And Leslie says, I agree. I feel so sorry for them. And it's true, right? You should feel sorry for them, especially when you know what is in their sources. And like I said, imagine being reported for hate speech when you're reading Islamic sources. The irony. Okay, show me a verse proving your point. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, all right? So buckle up. And again, you can feel free to call in if you want, and we can have a conversation. Again, as you're coming in, like the live stream, share this with someone that you know this will be a blessing to, and we'll jump into callers shortly. Let me just engage a bit more with some of these comments. Then we'll jump into this video, and the video is short, by the way, as well. It's like 60 seconds. Let's see. No, you can still decide to want to be religious, but at the end of the day, what does that say? At the end of the day, religions discriminate. It depends what you mean by discriminate. Every ideology discriminates in one way, shape, or form. Okay, discriminates against women. Okay, I don't agree, obviously. Let's see. Dino, thank you for sharing the live. Have you read the Quran? What difference would that make? When we're going to read the Quran today, most likely, and people are still going to say I haven't read the Quran, which is crazy. All right. Let's see. If you want to ask a question, ask a question. If you're a Muslim, feel free to call in. We're going to start taking calls in a second. Is this live rage bait? Why would it be rage bait? Okay, cool. Okay, you're Arab, you can apparently read the Quran with me. Okay, cool. All right, so like I said, we're going to take calls in a second. I'll take the first caller in a second. But before that, all right. We've already seen it. It's not a surprise. This is the kind of thing which happens over and over and over and over again. We have Muslims coming into the live stream and saying, well, why are you doing this? Why would you say this? Blah, 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 etc. It's bad of you to do this, etc. But most of the Muslims don't keep the same energy when Muslims go out, lie against Christianity, just to try and make their religion look better. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a video. I've played this video multiple times. I'm going to play it again because it can help you like understand where we're coming from. It can help you like it's going to set the scene, because what I want you to see is the difference between how this is a clip. It's got over 1 million views, maybe more, even more now. And it's a Muslim guy who's speaking at Speaker's Corner in the UK. And what he did was, the video is titled, Islam honors women more than Christianity, which is mind-boggling on so many different levels. But what he did in this video, he didn't quote any Bible verses. He quoted some hadith, etc. And that was his way of making a case that he thought was good. And my whole point is, well, I'm not going to say stuff about Islam and not back it up with sources in the Quran or the hadith, etc. That's the way you actually make argumentation. Not just, well, you say something, well, Islam honors women more than Christianity, and then you're just talking about different things in the Quran and speaking about stuff in different places at different times. So we're going to play this video, and then anyone who wants to call in, we can have a conversation about why I say Islam is bad for women and Christianity is better.
7th century Islam was saying women don't have to take the surname of their husband. In Islam, the mother, there's a saying of the Prophet that says paradise lies under the feet of the mother. Somebody asked the Prophet with regards to who deserves my companionship, my time, to the mother.
Give me thumbs up as well if you can hear it in the chat, please.
Said, who next? Your mother. Who next? Your mother. Who next? Your father. This is the rights that are given to the mother. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, the best of you are those that are good to their women. In Islam, the rights of the women are more so than what was there at the time and what is even there today as well. Because at that time when Islam gave the rights, later, about 1,000 years later, that's when women were allowed to vote. In fact, 300 years, in fact longer, in Europe, they were debating if women even had souls, if they were even human beings. But Muslims were saying paradise lies under the feet of your mother. The best of the people are the ones that are good to their women folk. This is unheard of 1400 years ago.
All right, so we heard what you had to say, right? A lot of talk without actually a lot of substance. And the crazy thing about this is, right, again, like it, share this out. And I saw a couple of comments come in as we was playing this, and what's actually funny, again, you can't make this up, the same sort of comments come up over and over again, right, from the Muslim side, that is. Right, let's see, where is it? We had this one. Did you? Islam is not bad for me, thank my creator. That wasn't the one I'm looking for. And again, we're going to take calls in a second. So if you want to call in now, we can have a conversation so far about what we're talking about. Okay. Someone said, this ain't the comment though. Why can men have multiple wives and women can't have multiple husbands? Don't say war. You have to talk to some Muslims and hear why they give you those reasonings and argumentation, etc. Not really the most convincing, but there you go. Okay. Look at this comment right here. How are you going to talk about how Islam is bad for women, but you haven't read the holy book? Firstly, I don't believe it's a holy book, but when did I say I haven't read it? I actually said we're going to read it most likely today in the live stream, and people are still going to turn around and say I haven't read it. Islam is the right religion. Very interesting indeed for someone to say that. Okay, cool. Look at this. This is the comment, right? One of them anyway. Mate, read your Bible. Spreading your religion by hating on another religion is crazy. Are we going to say the same to that Muslim guy we just heard in the video? Are you going to keep the same energy with that person? I don't think so. But this is what happens over and over again. Okay, cool. But this is the double standard that a lot of these people have. Let's see. Anything else of interest here? Okay. Not in a rude way, this comment says, what is my obsession with my unhealthy... No, that's the wrong comment. Not that one. Comments moving quick. What's my unhealthy obsession with trying to prove other people's beliefs wrong, like not in a rude way? Well, I'm not even... The interesting thing about this is more so about helping Christians defend their faith against like nonsense, dumb videos like we just played a moment ago. So really and truly, for those of you who are like upset and angry and, oh, why is he doing this, etc., you should more so be angry at the people making those sorts of videos, spreading lies, which gets Christians like me doing live streams actually engaging with the claims they're actually making. So that's the whole point of learning how to defend your faith. You're defending your faith against something. So I don't just deal with Islam's attacks against Christianity. I deal with other groups who attack Christianity as well. But even if I was only focusing on Islam's attacks of Christianity, why would that matter? If you own the truth, it wouldn't make a difference, would it? Okay. Let's see. All right. Thank you for liking the live. STF UK. Host, have you read the Old Testament? Yes, I have read the Old Testament. The Old Testament that... Oh, no, I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole today. Tell us why you think Islam is bad for women. Okay. All right. We can get into it now. We'll get into some reasons why Islam is bad for women. Again, thank you all who already... There's a lot of comments here. And as I say that, someone says don't ignore my comments. There's a lot of comments here, which is actually... So I'm not going to be able to see all of the comments. I never get to see all of the comments anyway. But thank you all for engaging in the comment section as well. And obviously, I'm just going to speak to the Christians at least, like, be respectful. All right. Let's represent Christ well in the comment section. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, cool. All right. First caller. Ronaldo, thank you for sharing the live.
Yo, hello.
Hello, AB. How you doing?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on, bro. Guys, can you hear him? Can you hear him? Just give me a thumbs up in the comments that you can hear him.
Can you hear me?
Just so everyone knows and the whole conversation can go well. All right, okay. Maya, thank you for following. Okay, they're saying yes, they can hear you. Just give me one more second. Yo, it's the same guy. It's the same guy from when? All right, thumbs up. All right, cool. AB, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. What about you? How you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed. You were gonna ask me, I assume, why I say Islam is bad for women.
Yeah, why is Islam bad for women? And can you prove it, like, from the Quran?
Are you Quran only?
I can read the Quran. I'm Arab, and
Are you Quran only?
Even though if you don't know how to read the Quran, why do you think Islam is bad for women?
Are you Quran only? Can you not hear what I'm asking?
You telling people that Islam is bad for women. So why?
Are you Quran only? Can you answer my question?
Bro, I can answer your question. Why do you think Islam is bad for women?
All right, I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you Quran only?
No, I'm not Quran only.
Okay.
I can even talk to you about sense as well.
Okay, so if you, all I need to know is if you're Quran only. So I don't know why you asked. I'm not Quran. I don't know. Thank Quran you. Only. So I didn't know why you were just saying, "Well, can you show me in the Quran?" As if you only accept the Quran. So that's why I was asking you that.
Yeah, go on. Tell me.
Okay.
Why do you think Islam is bad for women?
Not why I think. I'll give you an example. So let me ask you this question first. How many wives did Muhammad have?
Our Prophet Muhammad has got like few wives. Yeah.
How many, roughly?
Roughly like 3 women.
Roughly, he had 3 wives.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 wives.
Okay. Who was his favorite wife?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
You were the one here coming up talking confidently saying you know Arabic and all of this stuff, but you don't know the basic stuff. You don't know the basic stuff about your religion, bro.
Yeah, but listen, let me tell you something.
They're telling me to get rid of you already.
That's a different time. Yeah, that's a different time. And in your religion, the popes used to marry even teenagers.
You know we ain't even started yet. You know we ain't even started yet. You know that, right? I'm not asking these questions because I'm trying to dig or anything. These are just the introductory questions, bro. And you're already triggered.
No, I'm not triggered, bro.
You are triggered. Why are you talking about popes and all this kind of stuff? We ain't even got into what I want to talk about yet.
Because you guys go into the history back in the day.
I'm just asking you a general question. What's Why are you so triggered?
How am I gonna know who's our Prophet Muhammad's favorite wife?
Come on, bro. Don't you know? Don't you read the Quran? Don't you know your sources? Thank you, Nate, for liking the live.
What? It's not even mentioned in Quran who's the favorite wife of our Prophet Muhammad. What are you on about? All right. That's not even making sense.
All right, hold on. So
because Quran never talk about our Prophet Muhammad live.
Why do you keep talking? Why do you keep talking just about the Quran? You said you're not Quran only. I'm
not Quran only because you said that, so, isn't it in your Quran that our Prophet Muhammad has got a favorite wife?
I didn't say in the Quran. I said in Islam. In your religion.
In Islam, who knows?
In your religion.
Nobody knows.
In your religion.
No one knows who's our Prophet Muhammad's favorite wife. That's not even a question.
Thank you for the rose. Apparently I did say that. So if I did say in the Quran, I apologize. What I meant to say, if I did say that, was in Islam. See, I'm not too big to apologize if I make a mistake.
Have bastard kids, bro, and they have to fucking
right. Listen. No profanity, please. No profanity, or you can't stay. No profanity, you can't stay.
No, Dad, and they just crying every time, bro. You're talking about Islam and women are oppressed in Islam.
These guys don't even want you up here, bro.
They're not allowed, to have the suitable life, bro. They're always complaining. They're always doing sex with man. They have lots of kids to look after, and like in Islam, women's is like putting in a high level.
In Islam,
yeah, bro.
In Islam,
they are decent. They are good. They don't do sex with man.
Okay, so why? If Islam is so good, bro. If Islam is so good, why did Aisha, Muhammad's wife, say she's never seen any women suffering as much as the Muslims? If Islam is so good for women, why did she say that? Why did she say that? Why did she say that?
Prove that.
Why did she say that?
When did she say that?
Why did she say that? Why did she say it?
When?
Why did she say it?
When? Prove.
Why did
Where's
she say
your
it?
Proof, bro?
Bukhari 5825. Go and open it up. Bukhari 5825. Bukhari. I just told you what it said. I told you. I read it. I've read part of what it says in the hadith.
I
just read it. I've not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing woman. Why did she say that? If it's so good in Islam for women.
Okay, read it now in front of everyone. Yeah.
I just read it. If you want to read it, open it up.
Everyone your resources.
I already said Bukhari 5825. You've never heard of it, but you're coming on like you're going to come and school me.
Sahih Bukhari, I'm Arab, bro. I know how to speak
Bukhari,
Arabic.
5825.
Show me.
Did she say women or men? She said women, if you're asking me.
Don't claim something that you don't even know about.
I'm reading. I'm claiming what I can.
Show everyone.
Anyone who's interested can go to Bukhari 5825 and see it for themselves. Random Egg, thank you for following. Appreciate you. Jesus is Lord. Amen.
That's not right. That's just a false claims, bro.
It's a false claim. Isn't this? Is it? Who was the guy? I'm sure it was a Muslim who was saying they were here last time. Isn't this what we see? Isn't this what we see every single time? Isn't this what we see every single time?
The Christian people that they never read the Quran. They never know Hadith. They never know.
Ayan, thank you for liking the live. All of the Muslims that have gone to Bukhari 5825 and all of the Muslims who know what the Hadith says, just say yes. Just say yes. The Christian. Just say yes. The Christian is telling the truth.
Saying that women should be fucking beaten up in your religion. Yes, and it's right.
All right. Obviously.
So where's my resources? Where's my proofs?
Where's your resources? In your head, because that doesn't exist.
Everyone can
in
say
your head,
bullshit.
because it doesn't exist. All right, bro. You can't control yourself. You can't control your mouth. You're a bot, bro. He couldn't even get past the initial questions without getting triggered. Couldn't get past the simple questions. This is how dumb some of these Muslims are. He came up calling me, talking about, oh, he's going to basically school me. I know Arabic. I know all of this kind of stuff. He doesn't even know his Quran. Doesn't know his Hadith. I'm talking about stuff which he's never even heard of. His own Muslim brothers are telling me to get rid of him. All right. Again, guys, send in hearts so more people can see this. I'm going to bring up the next caller in a moment, but again, I asked him a couple questions and he couldn't even deal with it. He was already triggered. I agree, he doesn't know anything. And I hope you're not talking about me and you're talking about your Muslim brother who was just talking. Apparently I lied. Anyone can go and read Bukhari 5825 and see that's exactly what she said. Why would I need to lie about it? Right.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, and how are you, my friend?
I'm blessed. What's your name?
My name is Hassan.
Hassan?
Yes, and your name is?
Israel.
Israel?
Yeah. Have we spoken before?
Very well. I don't think we have, but I mean, go on. What do you have to say about Muslim women, Islam in general? That's my question. I mean, you're saying Islam is bad for women, but I mean, have you read passages in the Old Testament?
What kind of Muslim are you?
I mean, we can get to that. I'm a Orthodox Sunni Muslim, but I mean, have you read the Old Testament?
And what do you accept?
I accept both Quran and Hadith. But have you read the Old Testament? Just as
yes, I've read the Old Testament. Have you read the Quran?
What's your thought? I've read the Quran. What's your thought on passages about a woman having to marry her rapist, a father selling his daughter into slavery? What's your thoughts on these passages?
These passages, which don't even say what you're talking about, number one, you're making an interpretation, at least on the first passage. And number two, these are the same passages which the Quran says are guidance and light from Allah. So what do you think about
That's not true. That's not
yes,
true.
it is true. But listen. When are we going to get we're not going to get sidetracked on that today.
Again, it's your opinion.
Let's not get sidetracked on that. Let's not get sidetracked.
It's not true.
Let's say for example, even if what you're saying is true, which I don't believe it is true anyway, it's not.
Okay.
According to Aisha and the hadith I referenced, it still wouldn't be bad or worse as what she's seen. Because she said in Bukhari 5825, let me finish talking. She said in Bukhari 5825 that she's never seen any woman suffering as much as the believing woman. What do you think about that?
And what's the context behind that? Do you know?
The context, have you read the hadith?
Yeah, I had a skim through it. I've read it.
So you haven't read it before? This is your first time reading it?
I've read it. Again, I'm not a scholar. I haven't memorized all single hadith.
I didn't say you were a scholar. I'm just asking to gauge.
I'm not saying you did say I'm a scholar. I'm not a scholar to have known every single hadith.
So this is the first time you read the hadith?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the first time I read it.
So the context of the hadith. Hold on. You asked me what the context is. Let me explain it to you.
Go on.
All right. So the context of the hadith is a woman comes to Aisha and says, shows her a green mark on her body, which was from beating. That's what the hadith says. And because of that now.
And what was the beating from?
That is the catalyst. What was the beating from? That is the catalyst for why Aisha now makes the statement that she's never seen any woman suffering as much as the believing woman.
And what was the beating from?
You tell me, because
you're trying to
does it tell you
some sort of understanding?
Does it tell you what the beating is from in the hadith?
I would have to double check. I'm not too sure. I was asking you if you knew. Actually, let me go double read it.
It doesn't tell you what the reason was for. Not directly anyway. It starts by her coming to her, and saying, "Look, I've got a mark on my body from beating." And then that's what Aisha says. Well, I've never seen any women suffering as much as the believing women. So that's the context of this hadith.
Well, within Islam, there's a concept that when one goes through trials and tribulations, one suffers, all right? And even through the trying to obey your creator, trying to obey God, one will suffer, all right? This does not connotate to suffering due to inequality or one's rights being taken away from them, if that's what you're trying to point out, right? Even as a man, we suffer, right?
I'm pointing out the fact that she said
in Islam.
I'm pointing out the fact that she said, bro.
Okay, I understand.
I pointed out what she said.
I understand, but we need to go back to the Arabic language. I just looked at the Arabic, and a lot of the time when things are translated, it loses context and connotations. You're not Arabic speaker, are you? So I don't suppose you would know this, but
the people that translated it, are they Arabic speakers?
Well, again, translations aren't the best.
The people that translated it, are they Arabic speakers?
They are Arabic speakers, but it lacks context.
Okay.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Because
don't come here, bro. Don't come here and try and say, oh yeah, you read the Arabic. Did they read the Arabic before they translated it?
Again, the translation doesn't.
Did they read the Arabic before they translated it? Yes or no?
Of course they did. Hence they translated it.
So you're going to claim now that you're going to now claim.
Can I finish my point?
You're going to claim now. You're going to claim now and say you're going to translate it and give more additional insights.
Calm down.
I'm calm. Don't try.
No problem. Allow me to finish.
Don't try.
Allow me to finish. So our religion, alhamdulillah, unlike others, right? We have the original language which we can refer back to, unlike others, right? So the Arabic, the translators haven't done it justice. Trust Sunnah.com, we don't rely upon it a lot, all right? We don't rely upon Sunnah.com a lot. Their translations are quite horrible, actually, on some hadith. They don't do it justice.
Keep throwing them under the bus.
Huh?
Keep throwing them under the bus. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not the best. I'm not throwing them.
Go ahead. Your translation's better, so go ahead.
So what the Arabic is referring to, if anyone speaks Arabic, is referring to sabrun an ta'ah, that the patience due to obedience. So maybe you Christians have this some similar concept, is that when you are going through a point where you want to purify and become obedient to God, you're going to suffer because you have to throw away your whims and desires to obey God, to come to that to purify yourself. You're going to suffer. And in Islam is known as jihadun nafs, the inner struggling. That's what it's referring to. Okay. All right, and you're trying to superimpose an understanding.
I didn't superimpose
because
anything.
You have an agenda. No, you are.
I didn't superimpose anything. I gave you.
You're saying she's
I
suffering.
gave you a testimony from Aisha. Aisha said this in your sources. She has never seen any woman suffering as much as believing as a believing woman. Based on what you're trying to say in your religion, there's this whole thing about suffering. Okay, suffering happens in life. Nobody's disputing that. But are you basically trying to say, in context of this hadith, that part of the suffering that some people may go through is, in this example, for example, a husband hitting his wife and leaving a green mark on her skin?
Again, one may suffer persecution. One may suffer violence from a spouse. All right, so that is a given.
So you're saying yes, basically, to answer my question.
One may suffer violence. Yeah, he will become a victim to violence. Of course.
So
does not mean that it is justified. The violence is justified.
Okay, so are you telling me that in this scenario, the guy was wrong for doing this?
Yes, he was wrong. Yeah, for leaving a mark. Yes.
So he wasn't wrong for hitting her, but he was wrong for leaving a mark.
Yeah, wrong for leaving a mark. Yeah.
Okay, so according to you and your belief, it's acceptable for a husband to hit his wife as long as he doesn't leave a mark. The
same way God in your book legislated to sell your daughter into slavery. It's the same way, I believe.
Stop running, bro. Stop running.
No, it's running.
Stop running and answer my question. Stop running and answer the question.
You still haven't addressed my points.
Stop running and answer the question. Stop running and answer the question. I did respond to you, but stop running, bro. Just answer the question. according to you, according to you,
a husband can
according
discipline his
to
wife.
you, according to you,
can discipline,
a husband can discipline his wife.
Yes.
No, I'm talking to you, so I'm saying according to, because I want what your interpretation.
According to the religion, not me.
According to you,
right? The religion isn't me. According to the religion,
according to you, a husband can strike his wife as long as he doesn't leave a mark. Yeah.
Discipline, yes, discipline and strike, same thing. Discipline his wife.
Discipline, strike, whatever word synonym you want to use, it's acceptable for him to do that as long as he doesn't leave a mark.
Absolutely.
And based on this hadith, because you still haven't really addressed what she said, really.
I have addressed it. You just don't like the way I responded. You don't like the response.
You talked about suffering, but it doesn't really deal justice with what it doesn't deal with. It doesn't deal with what she's actually saying. It's not to do.
Respectfully, you do not.
It doesn't deal with what she's saying. It doesn't deal with what she's saying.
It does. I've given a response.
She's saying
you do not like the response.
She's saying
that's the point.
She's saying she's looked around. She can see. She's seen various different types of women, and the ones that are suffering the most are the Muslim women. That's what she said.
Again, in context to the Arabic,
and what spurred on that statement was that her husband struck her.
Sabran and ta'a. Again, this concept is alien to you, right? But
you told you it's alien
to the Muslims. For the Muslims in the life, it is referring to sabrun and ta'a, and that is patience in the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Again, as a Christian, this is alien to you. You wouldn't know this. These concepts are found within your religion. So yeah, it's alien to you. You wouldn't understand it. And to say I haven't answered your question.
Let it be alien to me. These are the kind of Muslims you can't have conversations. They think we just have to take the nonsense that they spew out and say, okay, and under the guise, oh, you're not happy with my interpretation. You can't, she's not even dealing with what she said. Not seriously anyway. People go through suffering. My goodness. Guys. Thank you for the gifts. Appreciate you. Okay. I'm apparently rising people, but not letting them talk. People are having conversations. They're getting to say all of the stuff they want to say, right? Within reason. I'm not going to let you just go on a monologue and just say whatever you want to say, just to say it. That's not how this works. All right? I'm apparently, these guys, man. If you're not going to come up and answer questions properly, and when I press you on those questions, if you're not going to actually stick with them, then we're not going to last long, obviously. It's got nothing to do with running. So Maya, thank you for liking the live. Appreciate you. But deal with what's actually being said. If you're not going to deal with what's actually being said, like this is live. People can hear what's actually going on. So people can make their judgments and see who's actually running and who's actually making points. All right. Let's see. All right, next caller. Abdul.
Yo.
Abdul, how you doing?
What's up?
How you doing, man? You alright?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I've been listening to your last two conversations with a lot of my brothers that you're speaking on.
Okay.
And you right, cause you know it's directly to the point. But you.
Hold on. Are you a Muslim?
Oh yeah, big Muslim, but I also come for your Bible too. All 66 books in your Bible.
Hold on. You said you're a Muslim or you're not a Muslim?
I just said I'm big Muslim. I just told you I'm a Muslim.
Yeah. Okay. You're a Muslim. Okay, cool. And you said I'm right about what?
Okay. I just listened to your last two conversations with my brothers, right?
Okay, yeah.
All right. So listen me out now, because that's the problem too. What goes on with a lot of y'all podcasts, y'all Christians try to ask a little question. Y'all like to over talk. And so y'all want y'all points to be heard. So watch this. Here it is. When you ask a question about a hadith, which you right by what you're saying, you're not wrong.
I'm not
All right,
wrong.
but you gotta finish. Okay, but you gotta finish the hadith. You're not selling the whole hadith.
Okay,
You want
what?
to listen to me, brother?
Okay,
I
hold on,
just
hold on,
read the
hold on,
hadith.
hold
I
on,
just
hold on. What in the
uh-huh.
hadith? What in the hadith
Uh-huh.
in Bukhari
Mhm.
5825 did I leave out?
Okay.
Which?
Okay, you left out the part was the reason why that she had a bruise on her and her husband because he also called her a lie. He said she's a lie. He said, I swear by Allah, she's lying. Then she said, I swear by Allah that he's lying. Look what he did to me. And she showed her garment to a rock man. Do you know who that is? So when she showed it to him, he said, I swear. So they went to the prophet. That's why Aisha went to the prophet and said what she said about that she had never seen the worst be done more to the believing women. That means to the Muslim women, right? So when they found the prophet, they ran to the prophet. All right. So they was disputing. The whole reason why he did what he was claiming what he did to her is because she was claiming she wanted to go back and be with the last man she was with. So basically she was claiming that she wanted to go back and hold around again. So you gotta read the hadith, man.
How?
That's what I'm saying.
Wait,
It's a
hold on,
clean,
hold on, hold
okay.
on, hold on. How
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
is the husband
Uh-huh.
says that she wants to go back to a previous husband?
Okay, fast. But guess what? The only way you can go back to your husband is that you cannot have had intercourse with the husband that you're with. And there's a waiting period. See
No,
what I'm saying? And she knew
but
this.
if she wants to go back to her
Mhm.
husband, what does Islam say she has to do in order to
No, okay.
divorce?
If she had sexual intercourse with her next husband, because she actually left the last husband. All right, when she got with him, she had kids with this man. Okay, so the only way she can do that, first of all, she must divorce him and she got to leave like a 90-day period. She must be away from him.
No,
Then
but
she got to give more time. Then they got to give more time to want to come back together. That's if they don't want to come back together, that means then she can return back to the last husband. You can't just go straight directly. She can't just go directly
yes,
back to
but
the last husband.
what does it say that
There's a
she has
waiting
to
period.
do? What does she have to do in the sources according to go back to the previous husband?
I just told you, it's a waiting period. That's the law. That's Islam. That's the law. That's what they were living by. See, when you talk about Aisha, then you talk about the time of the prophet. That means there were laws and policies, bro. Do you even know what you talking about? That's crazy. How the hell you asking the question and we trying to tell you the answer and you don't even know what the hell you talking about?
Who said that? What are you
Man, I'm gonna
talking?
get off there, man.
What are you
Man,
talking
you don't
about?
even know what you talking about, man. You only trying to
All
bend
right,
Islam, man. You don't even know what
all right, bro. Have a nice one. This guy literally just said, I'm right when I'm talking about the hadith, but then at the same time, he's saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. Make that make sense. Can we get like a real Muslim, please? A real Muslim. He's talking about a waiting period. What he didn't want to say, at least I didn't hear him say it, is in order for her to go back to a previous husband, she has to do something which the Old Testament, which these Muslims have been talking about, funny enough, says it's an abomination, says it's wickedness. But Islam says in order for her to go back to her husband, she has to sleep with this man and then she's able to go back to her old husband, which is the complete contradiction to the Old Testament, which says if a woman was married and a man sent her away, if she went to someone else, she couldn't go back to the other guy. That's an abomination. I've got to drop them and kick them when they say the right stuff. The guy literally was saying, I'm right, I'm telling the truth. And the Muslim brothers of his that he was speaking to are not at the same. But I'm apparently like, come on, bro. All of the sources I'm talking about, I mentioned them. All right. User.
How you doing?
I'm best. You?
Good, brother.
Are you Muslim?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of Muslim are you?
I'm on the surface of Islam right now, so I say I've been Muslim for 2 years. Took my shahada about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm not really with any distinct, branch of Islam. I don't really differentiate.
Would you differentiate between Sunni and Shia, or you're talking about inside Sunni?
To an extent. Let's just say for the sake of the argument that I'm a Sunni Muslim.
Okay, cool. And do you accept the Quran and the Hadith, or just the Quran? Like, what?
I mostly take from the Quran, but I dabble in Hadith. So I'm still looking.
Okay,
still reading Hadith.
You dabble in the Hadith,
and I accept them as well.
Okay,
that's for the sake of the argument.
You don't accept all of them, but you accept like the Sahih Hadith, which.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, what made you choose Islam? What were you before?
I'm pretty much non-religious. I mean, I grew up in Christian and Catholic churches, but I never really got true answers to the questions I had growing up. So I kind of just dabbled around in religion and found that Islam fitted me and made me a better man. So that's what I went with.
Okay, cool. Are you married?
No.
Okay. So today we're talking about why I say Islam is bad for women and why Christianity is better.
Okay.
Yeah. And we spoke about, how long have you been on the live stream?
No, not long at all. Since just the last guest.
Okay. So we've been speaking about different things.
Right.
One of the reasons why I say Islam is bad for women is because in the Quran, it allows a husband to strike his wife.
Right.
What do you think about that? That's good or bad?
In the context of just striking her, it's just bad.
Okay. What about the context? Just for the record, for the Muslims in the chat who are going to accuse me of lying or saying I don't know what I'm talking about, the verse is chapter 4, verse 34.
I know the verse you're speaking of where it says to...
Cool. I'm just for the listeners.
That's
because
fine.
As you'll probably see, if you stay for any serious amount of time, the Muslims are going to start accusing me of lying and saying stuff that the Hadith don't say, the Quran say, etc. Okay, cool. I get that. All right, cool. So the context of that passage, it says, if a husband fears rebellion,
right? If
he fears rebellion, not if she is rebellious, if he fears rebellion, it gives three options. He can admonish her, he can tell her off basically, he can banish her from bed, so as in he doesn't have intercourse with her, and another option is he can strike her.
Does it say these as options or list these things to do prior to striking her?
These are options. There's different interpretations from you guys' sources. So the Arabic, to my understanding, doesn't say like do this first and then this second and then this third. But a lot of Muslims take that sort of interpretation and say, oh, it's like stages. To me, I don't care to argue for that, like really, because stages doesn't really make a difference to the argument I'm making. So you said it's bad just if a husband just does it. Now, in this context of admonishing, banishing from beds and striking, what do you think about in that scenario?
I mean, the Quran also says other things about, not, treating others good as well. So the fact that it says that, that's an area I have to look into. I have to look into what the scholars say about it, which I haven't as much as, probably other Muslims, but that'd just be something I had to look into, brother. And overall, when you put it in this context, it does not sound the best. I agree.
Well, I appreciate you for, number one, saying you need to look into it. Not a lot of people take that approach, which is the best approach. And I appreciate you also for being honest and saying the way it looks, at least it sounds bad.
Because I could pull a verse out of Deuteronomy that you definitely wouldn't agree with.
Okay.
22:8-20. No, Deuteronomy 22:28 through 29 says.
Why would I agree with that passage?
Why would you not agree that? What are you reading from, the KJV?
Well, I'm not reading from the NIV.
Oh, I mean, we can go back farther than both of these.
Because you know the NIV. What are we going back to?
Do you want to go back to? We can go back to Greek manuscripts.
Was the Old Testament written in Greek originally?
Oh, well, okay. No, you're right. Correct. Okay, so we can go back to the Greek Septuagint.
Okay, but
one of the earliest. Well,
Okay.
if we're going off early manuscripts, then we can go off something earlier than the KJV as well, where they translated from the KJV, leaving a lot of things out.
I'm not saying KJV. I'm just saying is
Okay.
a lot of Muslims like assume Deuteronomy is talking about grape in that passage.
Okay.
When I get what you're saying, like I understand the whole Septuagint. We can talk about that if you want, but most of the English translations don't take that approach. So it's funny to me why a lot of Muslims will talk about the passage and say, "Oh, it means this, it means this, it means this," when the majority of translators aren't going down that pathway.
If that's your argument, then of the translation, because if that's your argument, then that's a poor argument, because the Bible wasn't written in English either. So it being translated into English and leaving the word, well, I won't say it on your live so you don't, but leaving that out doesn't. And it also says in the verse 4, he has violated her, so he must stay with her forever. Why would he? What's violating of her if he didn't grape her?
Having intercourse with her before they're married. That was a very bad thing. It's still a very bad thing today, but it's very bad. That was dishonorable. He's gone somewhere. Hopefully he'll come back. My point is, bro, like, I'm not making an argument that English translations is like the be-all and end-all.
Hello? Sorry, brother. I had got a phone call.
No, it's cool. Basically, what I was saying is my argument isn't that because English translations translated this way, this is automatically what it means. So, for example, like, when we talk about 434, you have some Muslims who will have conversations and say, oh, well, it means beat lightly. It doesn't mean strike like with force, etc. and stuff like that. And one of the things, I said this to someone who was calling earlier on, and he was basically talking about, well, I don't know Arabic. And I'm like, well, the people that are translating it know Arabic. So look at 434, for example. You read through multiple translations. Most of the translations will say stuff like beat, strike, scourge, discipline. Some will say beat, and then in brackets, they'll say lightly, right? My point is, all of these people are translating from a language into English. They know the Arabic, for example, in this context. They're going to translate it in the way that they think is best. Yeah? So words mean something in Arabic, they mean something in Greek, they mean something in Hebrew. And obviously we know that...
I got a question before you, because we were talking about I had got caught off by a phone call, and you had said, what did I say? I said, for he had violated her. And what was your response?
You didn't hear what I said?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so I was basically saying how it was a violation because she was a virgin. She was a virgin and she wasn't married. So that was like very dishonorable in that culture. And I was basically saying it's still like a major thing today, but that was not something that should be done. To have intercourse with a woman before you've married her was a major sin.
Right. Okay, I agree. If that's your stance on why it says that, I feel different about it, but I could understand why you interpret it like that.
Okay, cool. So what I was gonna say, I was gonna ask you before. You said you don't really know about 434. I was gonna say to you, do you want to know what some of them will, like some Muslims will say is like what the verse means?
No, I'd rather interpret it on my own.
Okay, cool. All right. So
I don't go with I don't majority of the time just go with the majority of Muslims when it comes to an argument or like a stance on something in the Quran, because the Quran says itself to interpret how you do, not just follow the leader, you know.
But obviously you have to be careful just trying to take your own interpretation, or an interpretation you come to yourself. You're not always going to be right, because you're not always going to be right by yourself, right?
Yeah, facts. Yeah, that's facts.
So it's wise, isn't it? It's important to like seek wise counsel and
to ask others.
But I agree with what you're saying as well, though. You can't just take what the majority of the people say as the truth, because it's not always the truth what the majority have. But all right, so you said you don't really know too much about 434. what I was talking to other Muslims about earlier on was the fact that you know who Aisha is, right? Aisha?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. One of the things I was talking about earlier was the fact that she said she has never seen any woman suffer more than the believing women.
Okay.
And obviously she's in like a prime position, and this is what she's saying. Why would she be saying that at that particular point in time?
Well, it's not hard to be it's not easy to be a believer.
Okay.
Would you agree? Would you agree from your faith? Is it easy for a woman, especially, well, I don't know where you live, but is it easy for a woman in your area to be a true believer and really follow scriptures to the T and really cover their body and really obey men and not have authority over them? Is that easy for women? I feel like women are very easily led astray, and regardless of their situation or religion.
I get the point you're making, and I could probably agree with it to a certain degree, but the reason why I won't take that in this particular context is because she's saying this in the context of like an in-house thing. A Muslim man is doing something to his wife, and that's what spurred on her saying that. So I don't think the majority of like Christians' problems come from within inside Christianity in regards to like suffering and persecution.
I would have to see the hadith.
Okay.
Two,
Bukhari 5825. Bukhari 5825. If you want to read it,
I'll look into it afterwards. Not while we do this right now, but that'll definitely be something I look into, brother. I'm not, just saying it just to say it.
All right. Well,
but I want to hear like your.
Go ahead. Oh, he's gone somewhere. Maybe he got another call.
Are you going to be live later, brother? I got a lot going on right now.
No. Next time, guaranteed Monday. But next week, Wednesday, I'll be doing another stream like this again. So follow if you want to have another conversation. But bro, this was a good conversation. So you can definitely come back. We can have a conversation again in the future.
For sure, brother.
Yeah.
All right, respect. Be safe.
Yeah, cool. You too, bro. All right. And Bukhari 5825 as well. Just for the record, bro, if you want to read that source. All right. See? We can have reasonable conversations. It doesn't always have to end or be like craziness. I tell him about a verse. He's familiar with the verse. He engages with the verse in the way in which he does. We talk about another hadith. He says he doesn't know the hadith. He's taking my word for it. I give him the hadith, and he can go and study it and read it in his own time. All right. But guys, this is, again, make sure you're sending in hearts, make sure you're liking it, share it. That's like the first real Muslim, like no, let me take that back. That was the first real person I've actually spoken to today. I've been live for like an hour. All right. Next up is Home Comforts.
Yeah, hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, good.
You blessed?
Yeah, everything good. How are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm blessed, bro. What's your name?
You can just call me Home.
Home?
Yeah.
All right, and you're a Muslim, I assume, right?
Yeah, I'm a Muslim, yes.
Okay. What kind of Muslim are you?
I'm a Sunni Muslim.
Sunni Muslim who takes Quran and Hadith, or just the Quran?
Yeah, Quran and Hadith, yeah.
All right, cool. How long have you been listening?
How long have I been what, sorry?
How long have you been listening?
I literally came in like 3-4 minutes ago. Not even that, to be honest.
Okay, so you heard the end of the last conversation?
Not really, no. I mean, you can repeat it, so I can track.
So, one of the reasons why I've been saying Islam is bad for women and Christianity is better. One of the things I spoke to the last guy about was the fact that the Quran says that a husband can strike his wife.
Yeah, but do you know the explanation that our scholars give regarding that?
Yes, some of them.
Yeah, so I take that explanation.
Which one do you take? Because there's
Yeah,
not
so
just
I
one.
take so I take the explanation that scholars give that the word daraba is something which is merely done to tell them that, like, look, this is one of the last resorts, and this can lead to um, a divorce. And the evidence that I have for this is because the Quran uses the same word when Prophet Job, peace be upon him, takes a bundle of grass and he hits his wife with it.
Okay.
So it's meant to be a light tapping. Yeah.
I like tap like a miswak.
Yeah. So similar to a miswak, or in the Quran, the example is get grass and then do the same and use the same word.
The problem I have with that, and the people that take that interpretation, is there's too many hadith which don't seem to line up with.
Okay, but can I give you?
Hold on. With Islam allowing a light miswak tap.
Okay, I mean I can give you a hadith as well.
That's only gonna further the problem.
I mean, what's the problem going to be if I take a certain hadith?
So, for example, right, we're talking about 434. You're saying it's a last resort.
No, I didn't say that. I said the word used in that verse is also used elsewhere, and the reason why we believe and our scholars believe is referring to a light tap to signify the consequences if she keeps the behavior that she's been on is going to lead to a divorce, right? Which is the last resort. So she's close to it.
Okay.
So now, yeah. So that's
maybe I misunderstood you. So you're saying that is what happens, and then the last resort is the divorce.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so like I said, I've heard different arguments as to why this isn't a strike. And you said there's Job, for example. I've heard that example before. There are other examples of this Arabic word which are speaking in a more violent context, right?
Yeah, but the main evidence would be from the Quran and the fact that Allah.
I'm talking about in the Quran. In the Quran, this word is used in different ways. One of the ways it's used is to like strike, right?
Yeah, but the most perfect analogy would be the example that I'm giving you, because it's in relation to a husband and a wife, where Prophet Job, when he was angry, he swore to Allah that when I get better, I'm gonna strike my wife, right? So it's a extremely similar analog. Now, when he does recover, he obviously has to fulfill because he swore to Allah. Now, Allah tells him, Allah doesn't want him to hit his wife. So what he does is he tells him, look, get a bundle of grass and tap your wife with it, right? And that will fulfill the swearing. So what we can gain from this is, my God, right? He doesn't want you to harm your wife. Same with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who said in an authentic hadith, he never ever touched or hit a woman.
But there's also authentic hadith of him sanctioning wife beating, and also authentic hadith of him striking Aisha.
We follow his example. And there's a hadith where Aisha herself, in a Sahih hadith, mentioned that he never hit me, nor did he hit anyone else.
Okay, so again, this goes back to what I said is the problem. You've got authentic hadith saying, Aisha says he's never hit anyone, but there's also authentic hadith where he struck Aisha.
Okay, can you show me?
And there's also authentic hadith of him sanctioning wife beating.
Okay, show me where he hit Aisha. Can you please show me?
Okay, so this is, if he did, then what are you going to do?
Dude, just show me. We don't need to get into like if he did die.
Why not? Because obviously you're making a case.
Just show me, bro. We're trying to have a good dialogue.
Okay. You know, okay. That's true. You're right. All right. Sahih Muslim, Book 4, Hadith 2127.
Sahih
Muslim, Book 4, 2127. So this is a long story. I'm not sure if have you heard it before? The one where Muhammad comes to it's Aisha's night basically. So he comes to her. Have you heard that story before?
Did you say 2724?
2127.
Oh, 2127.
Muslim, Sahih Muslim, book 4, 2127. So this is a long story, guys. I'm just going to give you the rundown, and then I'm going to speak specifically about the part where it says that he struck her. All right. So basically what happens in this hadith, in this narrative, it's Aisha's night. All right. So obviously Muhammad had multiple wives, and as people with multiple wives do, they obviously have to divvy up the time with their wives. So this was Aisha's night. So he goes to Aisha's house this particular night. He lies down in the bed. The narration says that he now thinks time goes past and he thinks that she's asleep. So because he thinks she's asleep, he now gets back up, leaves the house, and he starts walking on a particular journey. So Aisha now gets up, she dresses herself and starts following him. Now he gets to a particular place. He stops, he lifts up his hands, etc. I guess they say he's praying. And then he's kind of suspicious, like, what's going on? So he's looking back. So now what happens is there's a race back to the house. She's running back to the house. He's running back to the house. She gets to the house first, and then he gets to the house. So she obviously jumps back in bed, pretends that she's sleeping. And then when he comes into the house, he says to her, Aisha, why are you breathing heavy? Right? B, thank you for following.
Are you reading the hadith exactly word by word?
No. I've just said already. I'm giving a breakdown, and now I'm going to read the specific part because it's a long hadith. I don't want to read through all of it right now. But again, Sahih Muslim, book 4, 2127. Anyone can read it in their own time. Okay, cool. So Muhammad comes into the house and he says, Aisha, why are you breathing heavy? Right, and this is where we're going to pick up. Again, Sahih Muslim, book 4, 2127. Okay. So actually, you know what? Let me make this look even better for you guys, just so you can see it properly. All right, cool. So what happens here is, let's see. So he comes in and he says, why are you out of breath? And she said, there is nothing, he said. So she basically is just trying to blag her way out of it. She's trying to lie to him to get out of it. He says, tell me, or the subtle and the aware would inform me. Then she said, Messenger of Allah, may my father and mother be ransom for you. And then I told him the whole story. So she tries to blag it at first. He's like, listen, tell me, or God's going to tell me, basically. I'm going to find out either way. So now she tells him the story. The same story I just recounted to you about how he came in, laid down, went away. She now follows him. They're running through wherever they're running through to get back home. She gets home first. Blah, 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 etc. That whole story. She recounts it to him. Right? Give me 2 seconds. And then, hold on. 2 seconds, guys. Make sure you're liking and hearting and sending it all, sharing. Okay, guys? All right, cool. Cool. So then it says, she told him the story. He said, was it the darkness? Hold on. Sorry. Okay.
Is this the same hadith you're reading, or?
Yes, I'm reading. So he says, was it the darkness of your shadow that I saw in front of me? So he's now recounting, okay, I saw some shadow. Was that you? She says, yes. He struck me, it says next, on the chest, which caused me pain. And what's actually crazy about this is not only that it says that Aisha's saying that he struck me on the chest and caused me pain. It says then that Muhammad said, did you think that Allah and his apostle would deal unjustly with you? The reason why I think that's ironic is because he literally, according to her, struck her on the chest, which caused pain. And then he's saying at the same time...
What's the Arabic word used for struck in that?
You tell me.
I mean, you're bringing the evidence, right?
Yeah, I'm bringing the evidence.
But can you tell me the Arabic word used?
No, I don't need to tell you the Arabic word used. Unless you're going to... If you look at Arabic dictionaries, one of the translation is like a struck, like a violent striking, like a forceful striking.
I'm not talking about one of the translation. I'm asking you, what's the word used and what's the Arabic of it?
I just told you. I'm not going to give you the Arabic word. Like, why? Because I don't need to. The people that translated it into English translated it well enough, didn't they?
But
it was a strike which caused her pain.
Wait 1 second. You do know we believe that Sunnah.com doesn't always translates all of the hadiths properly.
Well, thank God that this is QuranX.com and not Sunnah.com.
It's the same thing. There can be mistakes in the translations. So
no one,
please give me.
no,
So
no
in
one's,
the evidence
no,
that
no
you're
one's
bringing,
disputing. No one's disputing that people can make mistranslations. If you want to say, want to say that this is a mistranslation, you provide evidence, because most people who are reading this don't have a problem understanding what it says, because contextually, whatever the word for strike is, even if, as some Muslims try to dress it down and say, "Oh, it's not like a severe strike," she says it caused her pain.
No one says that actually. Yeah.
Yes, people. Some Muslims do actually say that. Some Muslims try to actually, like it sounds like you were trying to do, dress it down and say, "Oh, it's not like a severe strike."
No, because it doesn't use the same word. Anyway, I'll explain for you.
Is there one word? Is there one word in Arabic that can talk about a violent strike?
Is there a word in Arabic?
Is there only one word that refers to a strike that can cause pain?
No, there are many words, but this specific word can refer to many things.
Can it refer to? I'm not even disputing that. Can it refer to a strike which can cause pain?
Yeah. So
can it?
No, I don't believe so. No.
You don't believe so? So these people.
Can you show me? Yeah. We can go to the Arabic lexicon if you want. Yeah. So do you want me to show you? Do you want me to explain myself?
Yeah, explain yourself. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so our scholars, I can show you this as well. Our scholars say that this is in relation to a push, and then obviously she was hurt by the push. Okay, but yeah, that's what it means in that context.
Okay, so he pushed her in the chest and caused her pain.
Yeah, she felt pain. Yeah.
Okay, so how does that change what we read?
Yeah, so that changes.
Can a push be a strike?
Yeah, because Aisha radiallahu anha said herself that he has never hurt me, nor has he ever hurt anyone, nor will he ever hurt anyone. So there's no contradiction, because it was not intentional. If it was intentional,
can a push, bro? Can a push? Can a push be described as a strike?
No,
bro.
If I push someone, does that mean I'm striking them?
Yes, it can mean you're striking them, but there's various different ways to strike.
No.
Yes,
dude, are you okay in the head?
If someone's, are you okay in the head?
No, you're clearly not, because
you just said that a push can't be described as a strike, and you also said that it wasn't intentional.
Yeah, so if I push someone, right, and if it's not my intention to hurt them, and despite the fact that it wasn't my intention, she still feels pain, that doesn't mean that it was he specifically had the intention to hurt her. Okay, which is the reason why in many hadiths I can give you, she says that he never hurt me, nor did he hurt any other woman. And that's the example that we follow. So are you going to now explain the evidence that I'm bringing? Or are you gonna counter me with the fact? You can go to the Arabic lexicon if you don't believe me. That's fine.
I don't need to counter you, because listen to what you're saying. You're saying there's many hadith where Aisha says he didn't cause me pain. He's never hurt me. But we're literally reading a hadith where she says it caused me pain, it hurt me. So at best what you're doing is showing, which I said very early on in our conversation, bro, that there's contradictory accounts, contradictory Sahih accounts in your Islamic sources. This is why I say you guys are dressing it up.
Yeah, no problem. Look, sometimes you can do something which the other person can feel pain from, but it was not you coming with the intention to actually hurt the same way. Look, you can push someone, right, and because they're more sensitive or they're smaller or they're a woman, they can feel pain, right? But that doesn't mean that you violently struck them, because there's a difference between a shove and a strike. They're not the same word. Even in the way we're speaking English, when we say shove, are we saying strike? Obviously not, bro. You're more clever than this. Come on, bro. Your name's King. Context. Like, come on.
Yes, and contextually speaking, a shove or a push can be classified as a strike, because strike has a range of meaning.
When you push a door, do you strike it?
My goodness. You just said context, but you're talking about a different context. Is a door a person?
Yeah, no, what you're doing is you're bringing your own interpretation into this, and you're basically saying that his intention was to hurt her.
I didn't speak about his intention. You spoke about his intention. You said it wasn't intentional.
Yeah, I said it was an intentional.
So
Now
you're
you have to
speaking.
prove that
You're
was.
speaking to his intention.
Yeah, because I'm also
saying.
taking other things from my paradigm.
I'm saying what the
explain.
source says, bro. He
Yeah, no, but I
struck
don't
me
just-
on the chest, which
Yeah,
caused me
because-
pain. That's what I'm talking
No,
about.
it's, yeah. in
He
other-
struck me
in
on the chest,
same-
which caused
yeah,
me pain.
No problem. That specific word is shove. Okay. Now, secondly,
He shoved me on the chest and caused me pain.
1 second, dude.
He shoved me on the chest and caused me pain. It's
Dude,
like.
1 second. Wait, 1 second.
Go
let me
ahead.
finish.
Go ahead.
You clearly don't understand my paradigm, because I don't just look at one hadith, take it literally, and then disregard everything else related to the topic, right? When we look at Sahih hadiths, right, I take all of them, then we make a position. This is what our scholars do as well. This is my paradigm. And you're doing an internal critique. So you have to grant me the fact that Aisha radiallahu anha said herself that she was never hit. So now can you please explain to me, taking all of the hadiths into account, what is the contradiction? Please.
I already granted you your worldview, and I already said to you, at best, what you have here is contradictory narrations in Sahih hadith from Aisha.
Okay, what's the P not P? What's the P not P?
My goodness, we spoke about this already. She said, "He never hit me. He's never hurt me." In this
She
particular,
never said, wait 1 second. Wait. She never said that she didn't hurt him, as in like intentionally, right? But hurting someone in that scenario that I told you, she did feel pain. I agree with you on that. But prove to me that the intention,
so he hurt her.
Yeah, I already agreed with you
Okay.
that the show caused
And
her
in a
pain.
different
That's
hadith,
what
she
it
says he didn't hurt her.
No, that's not what it says.
What does it say
says-
in the many
It
hadith?
says in the different hadith that he never hit anyone with his hand. He never did.
Okay, you never hit
That's what it
anyone
said.
or cause pain or
Do you,
whatever.
do you want me to give you the hadith?
No, I don't need hadith because
Why?
you've
Are you trying to
quote-
find the truth, or are you just like here to like appeal to shock?
Bro, the hadith you're talking about. I've read the hadith before. This is why I'm saying.
Okay, what's the number?
This is why I'm saying. This is why I'm saying it's a contradiction. Because I've read something before, does that mean I've got the number to hand in my mind? Like, come on, bro.
Okay, can you go to Sunan Ibn Majah 1984?
For what?
Yeah,
Go
it says,
go to Ibn Majah 1985. Read that hadith.
yeah, we can read both of them. That's fine.
Read 1985.
Yeah, no problem. What did it say? You can tell me.
Go and read it.
Yeah, no worries. 1985, you said? No problem.
So he didn't hit her, but pushed her. Shaking my head, someone says.
Yeah, so do you guys think pushing is the same as hitting? Nice.
You can push someone.
it-
Pushing someone
it-
can be
it-
classified as a hit.
Yeah, it was narrated that Iyas bin Abdullah bin Abu Dahub said, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, do not be the female slaves of Allah. Then Umar came to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, O Messenger of Allah, the women have become bold towards their husbands, so order the beating of them.
Hold on. Just before you keep reading, I want to ask you a question. So in this hadith, when Umar, the companion of Muhammad, is saying the women have become emboldened, they're piping up, order them to be beaten. Is Umar here asking for them to now be ordered to be beaten with a miswak?
Yeah, it would just be referring to the verse. Yeah, it would just be referring to the verse that's in the Quran.
So it would be referring to a miswak or not? What do you think?
Yeah, it would be referring to the exact steps given in the Quran and the exact steps given by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam anytime it mentions a beating. Yeah.
Okay, and you believe that this miswak-like tap is going to stop and embolden women from piping up?
Pardon?
And you believe the miswak?
No, what I do believe is the
Let
fear
me
of
ask the
God.
question.
Yeah, I understood your question.
You
And I said
think?
yes. I said
Okay,
yes.
cool. All right, keep reading. Go ahead.
Because according to the Quran, that is like I mentioned, that is one of the last consequences of the fact that a husband, a wife, is not obeying the husband who is obviously in charge of taking care of her, as it mentions in the Quran, right? And according to us, divorce is the last resort. So yeah, again, it says in the same hadith that woman came complaining about her husband. You will not
After
find
what?
those.
They came complaining. They came complaining because of what?
Yeah, so each woman complaining about her husband.
What did they? What were they complaining about?
Yeah,
What did they come
because
complaining at?
Yeah, because like
Yeah,
I said,
because what? Tell me.
because they follow the ruling which is in the Quran.
So that's your way of saying Umar came to Muhammad and said, because you've said we can't beat them.
Yeah, are you gonna prove me wrong, or are you just gonna keep?
Can I talk?
repeating the same
Can I
thing?
talk?
Yeah.
So you're saying Umar came to the Prophet and said, well, look, you've said we can't beat them. Now they've become emboldened. And because of that, we need you to let us beat them again. Now you said after they came complaining, and I asked you, why did they come complaining? What happened before they came complaining that caused them to complain?
Yeah, so again, like I said, the beating which is mentioned in the Quran is referring to what we discussed earlier. So that would have been the case with them.
So Muhammad initiated. So Muhammad initiated and said, "Okay, cool, you can beat them again," and that turned into.
Yeah, I agree with.
They brought them. Hold on. They brought the miswak. They brought the miswak. Started.
It doesn't have to be a miswak.
Started tapping and said, "This is serious now. This is the stage before the last stage where I'm going to divorce you."
Yeah.
And that is what caused the women to now go and complain to Muhammad.
Yeah, because divorce in our religion is seen as something which is extremely major and is extremely looked down upon in our paradigm. So that is something that's scary for the woman, especially if they follow the Quran and they find out that this is one of the last resorts and the only thing left after this is separation. So yeah, that would actually put fear in them, and that would make them complain. But it mentions they shouldn't complain because it says they are not the best of you. If a husband's obviously acting rightfully and doing her job.
Does a man, like, I understand the point you're trying to make. Well, look, this is something which can be fearful to a woman if he brings out the miswak or just tells her, look, this is serious, like a divorce is coming down the line or whatever. A Muslim man doesn't need to go through those stages if he wants to get a divorce. No,
but that's just your opinion.
No, that's not my opinion.
That is your opinion. Dude, you can keep telling it. You can look.
That's not my opinion.
Actions. Look, wait 1 second. So let's say you have a kid, right? And he's always messing about, he gets in trouble at school and you keep telling him and telling him and telling him. Eventually you have to take some sort of action. You can't just, your mere words cannot convince him clearly, right? And that is the case with a lot of people.
So what does that mean? What are you saying?
So what I'm saying
is, if words don't always work, then what happens?
If words don't always work in the Quran, if you read the full verse, it mentions separation of beds, right?
Okay.
It mentions, not talking to them. Right? Okay. Then it mentions, obviously, lightly letting them know by beating them or by striking them.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I already gave you the example of Prophet Job. Did you not understand? And the example in our hadith, which is to do with the miswak. Do you not understand that? Like, why do you keep asking me this?
Because it don't make sense, bro. Like, you think it makes... Like... You are saying stuff which in your mind, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to me. This is why I keep asking these questions, because I'm trying to help you understand how what you believe doesn't make sense to the sources that we're reading. You want us to believe that Umar came to Muhammad and said, listen, bro, I know you said we can't beat them, but you need to give us power to beat them again. And you think that it makes sense. You think that it makes sense that he's talking about give us the options to speak to them, to banish them from beds, and then to lightly tap them with a miswak. That's what you think he's saying.
Yeah. You know why? Because the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, if there's a ruling about this topic in the Quran, then he wouldn't contradict it. So we use all of these things to come up with the best explanation. And obviously the fact that the previous hadith literally says that's the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he never hit anyone. So, like, he was our example. And again, like, you keep, like, appealing to shock and stuff like that.
I'm not appealing to shock.
I want to ask you, where are you? Because you keep giving me your
I'm not appealing to shock.
Okay, no problem. You keep
Bro,
giving
how
me
am I
your
giving you
okay, one
opinions when
second.
I'm
Okay, no
when I'm
problem. No,
bro?
because you keep repeating the
How
same
am I
thing.
giving you opinion when I'm
Because
when
I've
I'm
repeated the
quoting
same thing.
your own sources to you? How am
No,
I
no, no.
giving you opinion?
Yeah, and I've explained all of them sources 20
When
times.
how did
Same
you
example.
explain it though? You explained it with the
Dude,
opinions
I
of
already explained
scholars,
to you. Look, I already
didn't you?
explained it to you. When we talk about beating, right? I gave you the word that's used, and that you can go to the Arabic lexicon is referring to a light beating, which the evidence for it is in the Quran itself. When Prophet Job was commanded to gather grass and tap his wife,
And
right?
I
So
already
Allah,
said to you,
our God,
bro. I already said to
yep,
you that word is used in other places in the Quran in a more forceful, violent way as well.
yeah, but the
So
context that I gave you was to do with a husband and wife.
yes,
It wasn't to do with
context I
war.
gave you in Hadith is in regards to husbands and wives as well.
Yeah, but you never met. Okay, it's the same word, so I can still appeal to the same thing.
No one's saying
What?
you can't appeal to it, bro. But my point is,
So what then?
just because you've got one example in the Quran which says this is where this word is used, I'm now saying, look, there's other places in the Quran where this word is used as well in a
Okay,
in a more violent context, and you're
okay,
now
no problem.
you're now turning
What word
around.
are you referring to?
You're now turning around. You're now turning around saying, "Oh, okay, cool. Well, but this is a situation with a husband and a wife, which I'm not even disputing. Okay, cool. That like makes some sense. I'm not even disputing that. But then I just said to you, there's hadith which are literally the same context, a husband and a wife, and you're now disregarding it because it doesn't match with what you're trying to say.
1 second, bro. Just need to do something. Oh yeah, by the way, I want to ask you anyway. In the meantime, yeah, where is the word daraba used?
It's used in different verses.
Yeah, so like where?
Yeah, but you're not disputing that it's used in different verses. So there's no point in me going to these different verses, bro. Like I don't want to waste my time on stuff which is irrelevant.
Okay, bro. No problem. Look, I gave you the explanation, so you can agree with it because I can give you scholars as well that have this position. So in our religion, in my paradigm, since you're doing an internal critique, you have to grant me these sources. That's what they mean. That's the position I take. So do you have anything against my position specifically?
I said to you already, bro. There's contradictory stuff in the hadith, which you can take that approach. There's clearly obvious stuff which we've spoken about some of the stuff.
What was the contradiction?
We spoke about this, bro. I don't want to go over this again, man. Like we've had a conversation. People can hear it. People can come to their own conclusions, man.
Yeah, people can, but you actually didn't give me a contradiction when I asked you.
Okay, I didn't give you a contradiction. All right.
The contradiction would be that you can beat your wife and you cannot beat your wife. That would be the contradiction.
Okay, cool.
By the way, are you a Christian?
You seem to agree with me that yes, I'm a Christian, but bro, listen.
Wait, so you agree that a woman's hand should be cut off if she helps a husband in a fight outside? Do you believe that?
This is the same kind of person who will talk about, oh, you guys, you take stuff out of context, blah, 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 etc., but won't do the same thing when they're talking about the Bible. This is why, yeah, man, I'm running. But I don't understand. Like, I spoke to this guy for how long? Why would I be running from what the guy's saying? That doesn't even make sense. He's talking about a verse in the Bible that talks about chopping off someone's hand. There's verses in the Quran that talk about chopping off people's hands. And like, what are we doing here, man? Guys, like, share, subscribe, all of that kind of good stuff. These guys want you to believe that Muhammad, one of Muhammad's right-hand men, was coming to say, look, order us to beat them again. And he's talking about a light tap, please. You don't have to you don't have to be this brain dead in order to dress something up, man. Why am I talking about women that don't concern me? What are you talking about? Like, God has made men and women in his image and his likeness. So I should want the best for every man and every woman in existence. Okay, so women can be naked, but if a woman decides to cover up, it's bad. I don't even understand where that came from. Have we spoken about women being covered up or anything along those lines today? No. OSU, let's go. Thanks for liking the live. Appreciate it. Okay. You're referring to hijab and modesty. The Bible talks about women being modest. So, like, I don't understand, like, the Bible doesn't say anything about women going out and dressing naked. So I don't understand why you mentioned that. Can you ask the guy why they say Jesus is a Muslim? Because they need to have some sort of continuity to their previous religion. But I'm going to be doing, that's going to be another stream I'm going to start doing soon as well. Prove Jesus is a Muslim. And you'll just see, just as ridiculous as the answers they have for this topic, it's ridiculous for that as well. Let's see. Christianity doesn't even see women as human. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 to 27 is literally the first page in the Bible, the first chapter in the Bible. God says, let us make man in our image and in our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over all of the creeping thing, right? Over all the earth and over all the creeping thing. And then it says, and God made man in his image, male and female. So clearly men and women are both human. Crazy though. Crazy that this is just kind of stuff Muslims like to say, which is just crazy. All right. Got a couple callers. Let's take this caller. Give me a second. Tay, how you doing? I'm blessed, bro. You're Muslim. I don't like the way you said, yeah, I am. What does that mean? Tell me more about that, man.
Yeah, because it's not important if you're a Muslim to know what's good or not, right?
Yeah, it is. If you're a Muslim, then
there's common sense. When you're comparing.
Hey, hold on a second. Hold on. Just hold on. Just 1 second. Let me know in the comments if you can hear him, guys. Just let me know that you can hear him.
Yeah, I'm driving my car now. I don't know if there's a lot of noise or something.
Okay, cool. No, I want to make sure they can hear you. Okay. Can you hear him? People are saying no, there's an echo.
There's an echo, you saying? Hold on a second.
Yeah, I'm not sure why though. Okay, hold on a second. Okay. People are saying they can hear you. All right, give me a second. All right, so you were saying you don't know why. It doesn't matter. You were saying it doesn't. You were saying, can you hear me?
Hold on a second. It's not working.
Can you hear me?
It's not working.
All right, bro. Fix your audio, man. If you fix it, you can come back up and we can talk again. All right. Blue bread. That guy didn't seem like he was a confident Muslim if he was a Muslim. All right. Blue bread.
How are you doing?
How you doing, brother? You all right?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, man. I'm blessed. You're Muslim?
So, no, I'm not.
What are you then? What are you?
I'm just not religious.
You're not religious?
I used to be Muslim, but I stopped.
You used to be a Muslim.
Yes.
Okay, and what made you leave Islam?
It's just really not enjoyable to me. I just don't really like it. I don't find joy in it. I don't agree with things that the Quran says. The Quran has a lot of violence in it and evil.
Okay, so what? Hold on, Tay. Hold on. What did you want to add to this conversation? If it's mainly Muslims that are calling in for us to talk about what we're talking about here.
Well, what do you think about like people who shame women if they take off the hijab? Like, what do you think about that? Like, what do you think that says about that? About the hijab?
That's for Muslims to tell you, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
How long were you a Muslim?
I was born in a Muslim family, but I became religious in 2020. Before, I didn't really care about it until 2020, but then I stopped recently.
All right. And are you still open to belief in God, or?
Maybe, I don't know.
Have you read the Gospels before?
What? Can you hold on? I gotta go in a quiet room.
Okay, cool. He's going to a quiet room, guys.
So no, I've never read the Gospels before. Okay. Only read a little bit.
Okay. What I would say, obviously, I'm mainly speaking to Muslims today. So what I would say is, bro, just like read one of the Gospels, and definitely like follow me if you want. I'll do live streams again in the future, and we can talk if you've got any questions about Christianity or the Bible or anything along those lines. All right?
Okay.
Okay. God bless.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it. All right, let's try Tay again. All right, Tay. Yeah, you sound better now. You were telling me, I was saying you didn't really sound convinced about why. You didn't say you. Hold on. You weren't convincing me as to why you're a Muslim, bro. Are you like a Muslim or not?
I am a Muslim, yeah.
Okay. You sure?
What is your name? I'm sorry. You know my name. What's your name?
Israel.
What do you go by?
Israel.
Israel?
Yeah.
Israel. Okay. Nice meeting you.
You too. How you doing?
Good. So, are we gonna have a subjective or objective conversation here?
What do you mean by that?
Like, are we gonna look at things objectively or subjectively? Like, you're gonna have are we looking to find a truth, or do you have just a point that you want to drive without opening your heart and mind to something else?
And let me know, guys. Again, can you hear him? And let me know if there's an echo or not. Can I have a point that I want to drive home, which is truth, or are they mutually exclusive?
So your main question is about women in Islam, right? Compared to women in Christianity, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, that's what we've basically been talking about today. Yeah, okay. That's the point of conversation today. Yeah.
Let's start with the very first woman. Very first woman. Who's the very first woman?
Why are we going to start with the very first woman?
Right? Because we want to see how the very first woman is treated in Christianity versus Islam.
Why is that the starting point that you want to start with?
Because we're going to start with the beginning, right? The beginning is the very first created woman. And let's see how she's treated in Christianity versus Islam. Let's start with that. Then we can go down to other subjects.
How long were you on the live?
Okay, so
before you called in.
I'm sorry.
How long were you on the live before you called in?
how long I was in the life before I called them.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with it? Not too much. Maybe
Because
a
I
couple minutes.
want to know how much you heard before you called in.
Probably like 10 minutes, not long. I was just trying to listen to something while I'm driving, and
Okay.
you came up.
So my point is, the reason I'm asking you that is because we didn't talk about Eve with any of the previous callers. That's not what any of the conversations have been about.
Right, but your question is Islam better for women?
Okay.
Right, so let's start with Eve as a woman and how she's treated in Islam versus Christianity.
Is how Eve's treated in Islam and Christianity going to determine if Islam is bad for women or not?
Well, it's going to determine that Islam is good for women.
No, that's not what I asked you. I said, is how Islam treats Eve going to determine whether or not Islam is bad for women or not?
We're looking for evidence, right? We're looking for evidence on how Islam treats women, and is it worse or better for women, right?
I know. So let me ask you. Hold on. So let me ask you. Hold on, bro. Let me ask you like this way, Tay. Yeah? Let me ask you this. So let's say, for example, Islam treats Eve very well, creme de la creme, and Christianity treats Eve just very badly. Does that determine if Islam is bad for women or not? Or does how Islam treats women as a whole determine if Islam is bad for women or not?
It will set up the tone on how a religion looks at women. This is the first tone, the very first act of Christianity towards Eve is disrespectful, put her down, calling her that she's the cause for the original sin. She's the one who tempted Adam into eating the apple, and she's the cause of all humanity's problems. She's the cause why we're not in heaven today. While in Islam actually exonerates Eve. She is not liable for anything. It is both. In Islam, that's what I want to say, that in Islam, women and men are treated equally from the beginning of creation.
OSU, let's go. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
We're starting with the very first thing, how Judaism and Christianity are treating women in a disrespectful way to begin with.
Okay, so
let people know that Islam exonerates Eve from the original sin. Islam treats man and woman equally in everything.
In everything.
Same rights.
In everything.
Same responsibility.
Does Islam hold on. Does Islam say that?
Even puts men.
Isn't it amazing how he was able to? No.
As servants to women, you have to understand that. People don't know this.
Let me ask you one question.
I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
Okay. Your connection is really bad, by the way. But let me just ask this one question, because you said, Islam treats women and men. Bro.
No, let's finish Eve's point first.
This is on Eve, but no, bro, no. Bye, man. You can't even stop talking to let me talk. I'm literally making a point on Eve, and you're still talking. This ain't gonna work, man. You see, when I have to mute to get a word in, that's when you know it's time for the conversation to end. This is when I know the conversation has to end. It's crazy. We're not doing monologues here, man. This is not what we're doing here. This is not monologue time. He definitely came to hear his own voice, right? He wants to hear his own voice, as he said. He's driving, so he wants to listen to. He's driving, and he just wants to hear his own voice. as he's driving to wherever he's going. I'm asking him a simple question. Even if, in his mind, Islam venerates and restores Eve, and apparently Christianity apparently treated her so badly, does that determine how Islam treats women generally? No, it doesn't. Again, OSU, let's go. Thank you for the gift. Thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you. All of you guys in the live, commenting, showing your support in all these different ways. I appreciate you highly. Thank you so much. All right. Next caller.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm blessed. What's your name?
It says what's over there. Can I
That's your name?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I like that. I like that. All right.
Okay. So
hold on. I need to confirm first and foremost you're a Muslima, yeah?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just scrolling and I saw this Islam bad for women.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a
disagree?
Muslim, okay? Yeah, of course I disagree.
Can I tell you why I say Islam is bad for women?
No, I already know, but can I just
How do you already know?
tell you?
How do you already know what I'm going to say? You reading my mind?
Because there's only one thing that all the Christians or whoever's been saying is that Muslim women are not treated the same. Muslim women are somewhere in the Quran says that you can beat up your wife and all that stuff. So,
I wasn't going to say that.
But can I just make one point?
Okay, go ahead.
Because I'm at work and I don't have too much time, so.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just want to ask, you know how you said Islam is bad for women? If Islam was bad for women, then why so many Christian women, Catholic women, Buddhists, Hindus, they convert to Islam and they're so much happier? If it was bad, don't you think they would convert back to Christianity or whatever?
Not according to Muhammad, no.
See, you have to listen to the Muslims' point of view.
Did you hear what I
all
said?
you guys are doing are going through media or some churches that are not real Christians.
Did you hear what I said? Shh. You asked me a question and I answered. But you just kept speaking as if you didn't hear what I said. So did you hear what I said or you didn't hear what I said?
I heard you, but
okay, so what did you have to say in regards to what I said?
What did Muhammad do to the woman?
Muhammad said that he's never seen anyone. He said he hasn't ever seen anyone dumber than a woman. So
no. Give me the verse.
So
give me the verse from the Quran.
The reason why I'm saying that is because you said if Islam is so
bad. Did you hear that or did you read that yourself?
Can I finish speaking? The reason why I said that is because you said if Islam is so bad, why are all these women apparently converting to Islam and being happy?
So and you're saying all the women are dumb, that's why they're going
No, I didn't say I didn't say that. Muhammad said that.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with what I said. Why are the women converting to Islam? So you're saying they're dumb.
No,
that's why they're converting
Muhammad
to Islam.
said that. Muhammad said that.
Okay, give me the verse.
Okay. Are you Quran only?
What?
Do you accept hadith or you're Quran only?
No, I accept both. Okay. But it depends which hadith is it.
Bukhari. Do you take Bukhari?
Bukhari.
Do you take Bukhari? Sahih. Do you take him or you don't take him?
No, I don't take Bukhari.
Okay, so you don't take Bukhari? Wow, why don't you take
because
Bukhari? If you don't take Bukhari, how are you going to take anyone else? He's the creme de la creme.
There's some, I don't want to say mistakes, but there's been some contradictions in there.
I was talking to a Muslim before.
I take more, but I need a verse in Quran.
I was talking to a Muslim before, and I said there's contradictions in the Islamic sources. So I'm with you, but what I'm talking
But give me
about.
verse in Quran. No, I go by Quran. Never mind. Give me verse from Quran.
So now you're Quran only.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to talk about something else then.
No, we're not going to talk about something else.
Yeah, we're going to talk about something else. We are going to talk about something else.
No.
Because you said to me, everyone heard you, it's recorded, it's live. You said you take Quran and you take Hadith. I literally offered you.
Yeah, but I told you not
I literally offered you the best Hadith collection in Islam.
Maybe that's not my best.
And okay, are you Sunni? Or Shia?
Sunni Shia, what does the difference? Just caste.
There's a difference.
Okay, fine. Let's go. I'm Sunni.
Okay, so if you're a Sunni, what I just said is correct. This is Bukhari. You were even there making fun of my pronunciation. He's the best in your Hadith. He's the best in your Hadith collection, and you're saying you don't accept him.
But I said, give me verse from Quran. I don't want to hear from Hadith.
I'm giving you Hadith.
No, I need Quran. I don't want to hear from.
Why do you need the Hadith? Why do you need the Quran if you're not Quran only?
I need a Quran verse.
Why do you need Quran if you're not Quran only?
Okay, I need a verse from Quran.
Okay. Why do you need the Quran if you're not Quran only?
Because it's my choice.
What's wrong with the Hadith?
I mean, I don't want to hear. Okay, go on Hadith.
I actually want to know why, because you said you accept both, but
okay, go ahead, give me Hadith.
So you don't want the Quran anymore?
No, okay, give me Hadith.
Okay. Bukhari.
Doesn't matter, whichever, just give me.
Okay. Bukhari 2658.
Read the whole context. Don't just read a part.
Narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri or Qudri. The Prophet said, "Isn't the witness of a woman equal to half of that of a man?" The woman said yes. So she's half-brained, basically. He said, this is because of the deficiency of a woman's mind. So 2 women equal to the witness, the testimony of 1 man. And the reason why Muhammad says is because she has a deficiency in her mind. So when you think about this, 2 next to 1, she's gone, by the way. 2 to 1 means this is half-brained. Thank you, Fitness with Aki, shared the live. She ran away. I hope she didn't run away anyway. Let me not say that. I hope her phone died or she got a phone call or something along those lines. But there you go, guys. Literally, they can't even keep a straight story. I'm a Muslim. I accept the Quran. I accept the Hadith. Okay, I'm going to give you Bukhari, your best of your best. And apparently, no, Bukhari, I can't take Bukhari. And then when I start giving them Bukhari, oh, okay, cool. They disappear. We had someone in the comments before saying, oh, he didn't say that. Well, I just read the source that showed you that he did say that. 2 women equal the testimony of 1 man because they have a deficient mind. So, in simpler terms, women are half-brained according to Muhammad. It takes 2 female brains to equal 1 man brain. 2 witnesses from a woman equals 1 to a man. Because they have a deficient mind. This is the reason why, one of the reasons why Muhammad said most of the people in hell are women. Again, OSU, thank you for the gifts. Thank you so much. God bless you. And God replenish you 10-fold, 100-fold. All right. This is crazy. All right, let's take a couple more callers. We've been on for actually, okay, let's keep going. All right. Coco.
Good evening.
Good evening. How you doing?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well, thank you.
Okay, that's good to hear. What's your name?
You can call me Aisha.
Aisha. Okay. Evening, Aisha. So I guess by your introductory words, it's right for me to assume that you are a Muslim, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so did you hear the last caller, the last Muslimah, or you just came on?
I mean, right at the end, so the part that I came in was you tried to offer her hadith. She said she didn't accept it. Then you tried to ask her, is she Shia or Sunni? She was a bit, I don't know, she's a bit hesitant to.
Yeah, she's all over the place.
Why? And then she left. That's
okay.
all I.
Phil 210, God bless you. Shalom. Okay, so what do you think about what she was saying from what you did hear?
I don't know. I just felt uncomfortable that she wouldn't answer whether she was Shia or Sunni. That's very easy for most of us to answer, and it is important because it's important. It's our what we would call Aqidah, which is our creed.
I agree.
So yeah, but I don't want to speak badly of the sister. There must be a reason that she didn't feel comfortable to respond to that, I guess.
Okay, so let me ask you then. So you said you're a Muslim. Are you a Sunni? Are you a Shia? Which type of Muslim are you?
I'm a Sunni. I'd class myself as a Salafi.
Okay, Salafi. All right. So you accept the Quran, you accept the Hadith. How long have you been a Muslim?
About 10 years.
Okay. And is it right for me to assume that you disagree that Islam isn't bad for women? Sorry, you disagree that Islam is bad for women, sorry.
No, I don't. If I thought it was bad for women, like respectfully, I'm a revert. I'm not here by force. I'm here by choice. Do you understand?
Okay.
And even for Muslims, they're not here by force. They're quite free, especially in the West. You know, we're quite free to live however we want. So I guess it's by choice, definitely not by force.
Okay. So I've spoken to different Muslims today. We've talked about different things. We've spoken about things like men in Islam, husbands being able to strike their wives. We've spoken about Muhammad saying that women are the dumbest people he's ever seen. We've spoken about different stuff. I want to speak about something different with you today.
Go for it.
All right. So you said you've been a Muslim for 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many wives did Muhammad have?
I believe 9 at one point.
Okay. You sure?
I could be wrong. I'd have to sit and remember every.
Okay, cool. All right.
Go for times and then count at the same time.
Which of his wives was his favorite?
He says Aisha.
Okay.
He's asked.
Okay, Aisha. Okay. So, the question I want to ask you. Hold on. The question I want to ask you. Another thing we spoke about before, actually, as well, was that Aisha said she's never seen any woman suffering more than the believing woman. But that's not what I want to talk to you about. I want to ask you about something else. So I want to talk about the fact that Aisha said that in Islam, women were compared to dogs and donkeys.
Have you got a reference for that?
I do. What do you think about that, though?
I'd have to get a reference. So, for example, see if I come to you and I say something to you that could possibly not be true, yeah? And then I ask you, what do you think about that? It's very hard because you'd need to know if that's factually correct first to have an opinion.
Let me say this to you, right? I promise you, the longer you consume or watch any of my content, the more you will begin to see as time goes on that I try to speak truthful stuff as much as possible. And if I make a mistake, I will humble myself and apologize and say I made a mistake. Okay? That makes sense? Does that make sense?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I get the reference. Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay, cool. All right. So the reference of what I'm talking about is Bukhari 511. Sahih Bukhari 511. The reason I ask you those questions sometimes is because I want to see like what you would say objectively before you see whether I'm telling the truth or not. So it says, narrated Aisha, Sahih Bukhari 511. Okay, hold on, actually, give me a second. Okay, Bukhari 511. It says, these are the things, Aisha says, which annul prayers. These are things which cancel out a prayer. If these three things happen, then the prayer is cancelled. It says, they said, prayer is annulled, prayer is cancelled by a dog, a donkey, and a woman. If they pass in front of the praying people, and then this is what Aisha said based on this. You have made us, i.e. the women, dogs. So according to what Aisha is saying, because these three things cancel out someone's prayer, if a dog goes past someone while they're praying, if a donkey goes past someone while they're praying, or a woman goes past someone while they're praying, Aisha says, you have classified us, you've made us equal to dogs. What do you think about that?
No, but did you say the part that you're adding on the end?
What did I,
wait, because you said,
what did I add on?
Quickly, you said,
so yeah, I want you to bring response. So yes, I want you to say what you said. What did I add on to the end?
No, all right, okay. So you said that Aisha radiallahu anha stated that if a donkey, a dog, or a woman passes while praying. Somebody is praying, yeah, that their prayer is invalid, right?
Yep, it's cancelled.
Okay.
What did I add on?
There's a but to that.
What did I add on?
I'm asking. You then said that she said that women are like dogs.
I read what she said. She says you have made us dogs. Did she say that?
Can you give me 1 sec? Can you give me 1 second? Because I have to get this up so I can see it myself.
I said, Aisha says, based on what they said, you have made us dogs. This is what Aisha says in response to a donkey, a dog, and a woman passing by and cancelling out a prayer. Well, if that's the case, Aisha's basically saying, you've made us dogs.
Yeah, but that's the part that I'm saying you've added on. You're making assumptions that she's saying that
okay.
They're like, do you understand?
Okay, she says, you have made us dogs, right? Did she say that or she didn't say that?
You have to give me a second. Sorry, I'm trying to turn on my iPad so I can get it up.
Bukhari 511, the things which cancel prayers were mentioned before me, Aisha says. They said, prayer is annulled, prayer is cancelled by a dog, a donkey, and a woman if they pass in front of the praying people. I said, Aisha that is, you have made us dogs.
And that's the end of the hadith.
It starts talking about, like a little bit after where it says the Prophet was praying and she would basically slip away, like she would basically not disturb him. She wouldn't pass before him, basically. But that's it.
Okay, because there's a hadith here that their house was so small that when the Prophet ﷺ would pray, that he'd have to tap her so she could move her feet so he could go into...
Okay, how does that change what she said? That you have made us dogs?
In the house. We can't have dogs in the house. I do think that the full hadith's not being read, because even when I asked you to finish it, he's like, oh, there's only a little bit at the end.
Is there anything in this hadith which changes what I said? I just told you what the rest of the hadith says. There's really literally nothing else other than Muhammad was praying and she would slip away so as to not distract him. What does that have to do with her saying, you have made us dogs? That's the point which is relevant here. I didn't take any of the context out of it, which is relevant. Muhammad praying and her moving away doesn't change what is being said, what she said. So how does her saying, you have made us dogs, what did I add on to it?
Give me 1 second, sorry. You said it was Bukhari 5:11, right?
Yep, Bukhari 5:11.
Sorry, 1 second. I just have to get up in front of me and my iPad is being a bit slow. Okay, the page is loading. Just bear with me, sorry.
And
because I just want to add something quickly, yeah. A lot of people assume that in Islam that because men and women are not the same, that they're not classed as equal, right? And factually, even if you go based just upon science, we are not the same. And even today, I sat in a live with a group of Christians, and the debate was about, you know, sometimes women can be sensitive, or do women pick peace over argument, etc., etc. And it was not a religious discussion at all, right? But even non-Muslims are able to have an understanding that men and women are not the same, but it doesn't negate our value. It's just we're not the same.
I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
So sorry, I don't know why it's.
I get what you're saying.
Okay, I've got it up in front of me. Bear with me 1 second.
Okay, cool. So I'll just talk to the audience while you read it. But so I get what she's saying, but my point still stands. We're obviously talking about something which Aisha said, and she is saying, based on these three things, cancelling out a prayer, Aisha says, because of this, you have made us dogs. So
I don't know.
What don't you know?
Because I'm a person of knowledge, yeah, it's really hard to comment on this. But like, if we were made like dogs in a literal sense, like they wouldn't lay down with us and we wouldn't be in their house because dogs are not permissible to have in the house. So you have to, if you're gonna make a statement, yeah, you have to look at all the other things that factually could this statement be correct, right? Or could it, or are we perceiving the statement in a way that we choose to perceive it against because you're against Islam, right? But if we were made like dogs, the men definitely wouldn't lay down with us, and we definitely wouldn't be in the house with them because it's not permissible for us to have dogs. Dogs. For us, dogs are considered impure, like 24/7. They don't ever come out of a state of impurity.
Someone says in the comments, Aisha was defending women. I agree. She was defending women. Do you agree she was defending women?
Yeah, Aisha was defending women.
What was she defending women from?
From the fact that she believes from this hadith that women have been made to be like dogs. But it's, again, I'm telling you, that's not possible because otherwise we wouldn't be in the house. If we were made like dogs, yeah, it'd be how, you know how the Jews are, that like you can't sleep in the same bed, or when they're on their menses, I think sometimes they're like, they have little outhouses or some, do you understand? We're not like, even when a woman is in a state of impurity, she still sleeps in the same bed as her husband. She still uses the same bathroom as her husband. Do you understand? It's not factually, it's not possible that we are like dogs. It's just not. It's not.
Why did Muhammad's wife Aisha say this? Why did she believe this enough to say this? You're not like, you have to think about what's happening here. You're not necessarily fighting against what I'm saying. You're fighting against what Aisha said.
No, I'm fighting against the perception of what you think, the way that it might come across. But again, I'm giving you, like, again, if all I'm going to end up doing is just repeating myself, because again, if we were made to be like dogs or to be the same as dogs,
what did Aisha say?
In a constant impurity.
What did Aisha say?
She's saying that you have made us like dogs by saying that if we cross them, their path. So I just want to add something else, right? If a man walks in front of another man while he's praying, he can invalidate the prayer. We
He
have
can't.
something that
He can't invalidate it. It's wrong. He shouldn't do it.
it's not permissible to walk in front of somebody while they're praying.
He shouldn't walk in front of someone else who's praying, but it doesn't invalidate. But it doesn't invalidate the prayer. That's the difference. No one is supposed to walk in front of a Muslim when they're praying. I agree. That's fine, but it doesn't say their prayers are annulled. It says a woman, a donkey, or a dog's. When they do it, then the prayer is cancelled. So again, back to what she's saying. She said, based on this whole situation, you have made us dogs. So Aisha's saying, because of how the Muslims are viewing this scenario, if you say that a dog who passes someone who's praying, a donkey who passes someone who's praying, or a woman who passes someone who's praying, that cancels out a prayer, then she's saying you've basically made us dogs. We're basically just like dogs to you. What do you think about that?
I think if she's saying that in a sense of, if we pass you, your prayer's invalid, and you're also saying that a donkey and a dog passing makes the prayer invalid, I believe she's saying in this situation, you have made us the same as dogs and donkeys.
Okay.
But can we now say that in every situation that we are the same as dogs and donkeys?
That's not my point. Maybe that was Aisha's point. Maybe it wasn't. But I'm highlighting what she said. She said, you've made us like dogs.
Isn't it important to understand somebody's point if we're going to critique it? Like, isn't it, this is what I'm trying to say, isn't it important to fully understand? Because I've given you 2 examples of where it's not possible that we are like dogs. Because Muslim men do not lay down and have intimacy with dogs. Do you understand? Nor do they allow dogs to enter the home because they're impure. So I'm questioning why Muslim men are not building outhouses for their wives and leaving them in outhouses, considered that dogs are not allowed in the house.
I understand what you're saying, but I keep saying to you, this is what Aisha said. She said it. So you, like I said this before, you keep trying to argue with me.
So what is coming here is trying to emphasize and highlight the fact that women can be a distraction.
Someone said read the rest of the hadith in full. We've read the hadith in full. It doesn't make a difference. Why a woman, a donkey, and a dog? What is so special about those 3 that it cancels out a prayer? That's the problem that Aisha saw in this whole situation and said, you have made us dogs.
Okay, so it says scholars explain that while these things might distract a person, they don't technically annul the prayer, requiring a full restart.
What does the hadith say?
It's perfection.
What does the hadith say? If any scholar is saying it doesn't annul the prayer, they're going against what the hadith says, and you shouldn't listen to them if you're a good Muslim. Would you agree with that?
So you do know that we have different madhabs, right?
What does that have to do with what we're talking about? If the hadith says this annuls prayer,
so we have fiqh and we have usul al-fiqh. Fiqh is the ruling that is given, and then we have usul al-fiqh, which is how the ruling is derived.
If a fiqh,
So
if a ruling,
one example quickly.
No, hold on. Yeah, hold on. If a ruling contradicts the Quran or the hadith, you still go with that ruling.
Okay, so let me break something down quickly, yeah?
Just a yes or no, then you can break it down if you want.
This is, so please, I'm going to say this in a really respectful way, and this is not personal to you. I tell everyone this. Please do not dictate to me. Please do not ask me a question and then dictate to me how I answer that question. I don't like that. Okay. And that's not to you, that's to any person. Okay. I'm not a person who can be bullied, manipulated, or any. I don't like that. Okay.
I'm not bullying you. I'm not manipulating you.
Okay. But if I ask you a question,
but I'm hosting the conversation. And if you are going to steer into a direction in the conversation which is a waste of time or which is something which isn't relevant, I'm going to steer you back on shit.
No, I'm just trying to explain something to you, right? So if
that's what I'm saying to you. I don't want an explanation. If
I'm not giving you an explanation, I'm trying to give you understanding, because if you're critiquing,
I don't want understanding. I don't want understanding in this particular point. If you're going to go down a pathway which is irrelevant, this is why I asked you that question.
How would you know if it's relevant or irrelevant if you don't allow a person to speak?
Because what you were saying before you started trying to give these examples was there's scholars who say something which was contradictory to what the hadith says. And you started talking about there's rulings, I
wouldn't use the word contradictory.
If something says in the hadith, this annuls a prayer, and then a scholar says this doesn't annul a prayer, that is a contradiction. So I don't want to hear any scholar who's saying this doesn't mean it disannuls it, because they're contradicting what the hadith says. And if you are a good Muslim, you shouldn't be listening to anything which is contradicting the Quran or the hadith. That's my point. So I'm not interested in anything who's going to be talking about, yeah, well, it says annul, but it doesn't really mean annul. You shouldn't be interested in that. That's my point. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole with you. It doesn't help or build this conversation in a positive way. That's my point. I'm not trying to bully you or manipulate you. There's nothing to do with that. So that's why I asked you the question. If they're going to contradict the hadith, would you follow it? And I even said to you, answer yes or no, and then explain yourself if you want. If you don't want to answer yes or no, we can call it here and it's fine. You don't have to continue having this conversation if you don't want to. It's not by force.
Okay, but so now you're saying that if I do not answer yes or no, we cannot continue the conversation.
Yes, because I believe you're trying to take me down a rabbit hole I don't want to go down. I respect your time, I respect my time, and I respect the viewers watching's time more than just to let us go on some rabbit trail, which is a waste of time. People, just like previous callers, people started saying, yeah, go to the next one. People are already saying go to another caller because they can see what's happening here. I want us to have a productive conversation from beginning to end. But if you're going to...
Productive conversations, you don't dictate how the other person responds.
Then
that's you pushing a narrative. That's not fair.
I already said to you, I'm hosting the conversation. I agree with you. I'm not trying to...
The amount of time that we're spending on you dictating how I respond, you know, I could have responded and we could have already moved on. So if you respect time, you said also you respect my time, right? Well, if you respect my time, you should also allow me to speak.
You know what? It's fine. Don't worry. I think this is the wrap. This is the end. It's all right. Don't worry. Next time, if you want to call in and like not start deviating and just distracting us and wasting our time, then you can call in. But for today, it's enough. It's a wrap. Bear in mind, we had this conversation and I'm quoting sources. I'm being questioned as to my authenticity of if I'm actually quoting the source correctly, etc., etc., etc. I'm quoting the source. How many times have we seen today in this live stream? I'm the liar. I'm not quoting the stuff accurately. We go to it, we quote it, then all of a sudden the story changes. She said, I added something to the hadith. I'm asking, what did I add to the hadith? We're still waiting to see what I added to the hadith because I didn't add anything to the hadith. But I'm not going to just let someone come up and start talking about stuff which is irrelevant. I don't... Imagine the irony. I'm telling the Muslim, don't listen to someone who's contradicting your sources, and apparently I'm the bad person. It's crazy, man. That's all it is. Truth and facts. And for some reason, they can't handle it. All right. Guys, like if you haven't already. Tap the like button. Like you got a miswak in your hand. Do it lightly. Tap the subscribe button. Do it lightly. Muhammad did have a black dog in his house. That's interesting. Even though Muhammad said the black dog is the devil, which makes that hadith that Aisha was saying, you've made us the dogs, even worse when you actually know that as well. Q and Axe, thanks for following. All right. Okay, do this one.
Hello.
Rayan.
How are you?
I'm blessed. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
You're a Muslim?
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's good. What type of Muslim are you? Sunni, Shia?
What do you mean? Sunni.
Okay. How long have you been Muslim?
Huh?
How long have you been Muslim?
My whole life.
Okay, so you were born into it and you continue to follow it, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You Quran only or you accept Hadith as well?
I accept Hadith.
Okay. So how long have you been listening? How long have you been listening? How much of the conversations before have you heard?
To be honest, I've been in the live, but I really haven't been listening to much.
Okay, so we've spoken about different things today as to why I say Islam is bad for women, and in contrast, Christianity is better. We've spoken about the fact that in Islam, a husband can strike his wife. We've spoken about Muhammad saying women were the most deficient in mind, the dumbest people he's ever seen. We've spoken about Aisha saying she's never seen anyone suffer more than the believing women. We've spoken about Aisha saying that because a dog and a donkey and a woman are the things which can cancel a prayer. A woman, she said, you've made us dogs. We've spoken about different things. Which one would you like to talk about out of those that we've mentioned?
I do know about the one about the donkey. I know what you're talking about.
Okay. What do you think about
that? Could you remind me the hadith number so I can pull it up?
Okay, it's Bukhari 511. Bukhari 511.
511. Okay. Just so I have the full context in front of me.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so your claim is that, or I would assume your claim, or you can present your claim actually. Because I don't want to misrepresent you.
My claim is that Aisha says, you've made us the dogs. You've made us dogs. That's my claim.
Okay, so the context of this hadith actually is that Aisha was objecting to something that was incorrect. She's saying that it's incorrect, that a woman crossing doesn't annul a prayer.
Was she objecting that a woman crossing doesn't object the prayer, or that women are not dogs?
Both. She was objecting to a wronghood.
Okay.
Basically.
What in the hadith, what does it say she's objecting to? Literally, what does it say? Does it say she's objecting to the fact that women cancel the prayer, or does she say, you've made us dogs? Is that her objection?
So the claim being made, basically, it's saying that they said prayer is annulled by a dog, a donkey, and a woman. And her objection to that is saying that you have made us dogs. So that is not.
So what is she objecting to? The fact
basically
that women are dogs, or that women annul prayer?
That she's objecting to women annulling prayer by saying you have made us dogs in this way.
She's saying if you class us in this group with dogs and donkeys, you've made us dogs, or you've made us donkeys, basically. She doesn't say anything about,
which is why that is untrue.
She doesn't say anything about her canceling the prayer. It's all about the dog, the comparison. If you put us in this category, then you've made us dogs. We're like dogs to you.
And the thing is, though, she actually gives a counterexample to the claim. So if you read further into the hadith, it says, I saw the Prophet ﷺ praying while I used to lie in my bed between him and the Qibla. So she's giving a counterexample. She's saying she used to be in between him and the Qibla, and he still continued praying.
What does it say? Whenever I was in need of something, what does it say she did?
she would slip away.
Okay, why?
For I dislike to face him, it says.
It's okay, so when she needed something, she would slip away because she disliked to face. She didn't want to face him when he was doing what?
Praying. But does that change the fact that she was between him and Qibla and he continued praying? Does that change that fact?
No, it doesn't. That's not my point. You said the end brings a counterpoint which changes what she said initially. But my whole point is what she said initially. What she said about you have made us dogs.
Yeah.
That's what I want us to focus on.
Okay. So I really don't understand your issue, honestly. What's the...
My point I'm making is Aisha says, based on what's happening in Islam in regards to the prayer, a dog, a donkey, and a woman are the things which cancel out a prayer. So she says, you've made us dogs. Is that good for women or bad for women?
So what I'm saying here is that this claim is a falsehood. It's not a part of Islam that women invalidate prayer. So I'm saying that it's not a Islamic principle that women invalidate prayer.
Okay. It's not. Why did she say it was? Why does she say? Why does she doesn't say you? It's not true that we counsel prayer. She says she's focus is more on the conclusion that this conclusion makes us dogs.
Yeah, exactly. And she's saying that's wrong. So what these people are saying is wrong, and that's the context. This is what the scholars say. I know this hadith.
Which scholars? And again, like I said to the previous caller,
this is the interpretation.
If you're gonna I was gonna say, this is what I said to the previous caller. If you're gonna say something which contradicts the hadith or the Quran, that's not something you should take because it's contradictory, right?
So, I don't know if this is a misunderstanding on your part, but in Islam, in the hadith, we don't necessarily take 100% of what they say. Only what is infallible is what the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, has stated, not necessarily what someone else has stated. And then in this hadith, it's presenting something that someone else said. So it's not infallible. It's only infallible in the hadith if the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says it himself. That's when it's infallible.
Okay, so just to understand you, there can be things in your hadith, and unless Muhammad says it, it's not something that you have to take.
So that's a little bit of a simplification, but basically...
Yeah, I like things simple, man. Just simplify it so we can all understand it.
Okay, yeah. So we derive all of our rulings and the law of Islam from what the Quran and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam have taught us. And we have to verify that anything in those hadith can be brought back to him. In this case, in this hadith, we have no way of knowing that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said this. We only know that somebody back then said this. We don't know if it's the Prophet.
All right. All right. Let's talk about something else then.
Okay.
All right. So something. Okay. Let's talk about. Let's talk about husbands being able to strike their wife.
Okay.
What do you think about that? Good or bad?
I don't believe in the context of the verse that it's a moral wrong, but it's presented as a last case scenario. So I don't see it as an issue morally.
What's presented as a last case scenario?
Striking.
Okay, so based on your belief, if it's a last resort, then it's acceptable to strike them in one way, shape, or form.
Yes.
Whether it be
do you want me to give some more?
Whether it be lightly or mildly, like
only lightly.
Okay, so it's acceptable for in Islam to strike a woman lightly.
Yes, considering that she's sinning or being disobedient and she doesn't repent or she doesn't stop. So last case scenario in that situation.
But you know, in chapter 4, verse 34, when it talks about this, it doesn't say she's sinning. It says if the husband fears rebellion.
Well, we can assume rebellion to be sinning because in Islam, in an Islamic sense, the only rules that we have are those which are either halal or haram. So being rebellious in the sense of the Quran and its context wouldn't just be referring to any random thing.
If I fear that you are being rebellious, but you're not being rebellious, are you being rebellious?
What?
If I fear that you are being rebellious, but you are not being rebellious, are you being rebellious?
No, you're not. So
this is back to my original point. The verse says, chapter 4, verse 34, if he fears rebellious, if he fears rebellion, not that she is being rebellious, he fears rebellion. So he thinks in his mind or in his heart, my wife may be being rebellious. He has some sort of inclination within himself that his wife is being rebellious. It doesn't say she's being rebellious.
Yeah, okay, so I understand what you're saying. And I guess after that point, it would be in the decision of Allah himself. And what I mean is that fear of rebellion or actually valid or serious in that sense? And I would feel if that fear is invalid, like he just randomly thinks so for no reason, then it's probably a sin on his part, honestly.
But how can it be sin on his part if the Quran gives him a license? If he fears rebellion, he can action out these steps. He would actually be following what the Quran says. So he wouldn't be in sin.
That fear has to be valid. There has to be a valid fear of rebellion or sin. It can't just be any. And again, that being rebellion and rebellion being sins directly from the Quran, from its rulings.
But yeah, I understand what you're saying, but fear rebellion. You know, the Quran could easily have just said, if she's rebellious. It could have said that, right? But it says, if you fear rebellion.
Yeah, so that just points to the purview of the husband in the sense of Islamic law, that he is the religious leader of the household. So if in his sense he fears that his wife is being rebellious, then he has that purview. But again, that fear would have to be valid in a sense.
Okay, so you said you believe it's a light beating, right?
Yep.
I don't necessarily agree with that because there's several hadith which suggest the other opposite. So how do we make sense of you saying it's a light beating, but beatings in hadith, etc., which kind of suggest otherwise?
Could you give me the numbers for those, please?
So, for example, we looked at this hadith earlier. Ibn Majah, 1985. Sunan Ibn Majah, 1985.
Okay. Let's see. It's the one about slaves, it looks like. The beating of females. Okay.
And I don't think I'm with Aisha, guys. People in the comments who are saying Aisha was criticizing the companions and all of that stuff, that's the point I'm making. The Muslims who were thinking that a woman and a dog and a donkey are alike in that manner, that's the problem. That's what I'm highlighting. Hopefully you lot can get that who didn't get it. All right. Have you read it? Are you there?
I have read it.
Okay, hold on. Cracked. You obviously can hear I'm speaking to someone. So when I finish speaking to this person, if there's no one else in front of you, then we can have a conversation if I'm going to keep going with the live stream. But you have to be patient. This isn't a good look for you. I'm just saying that from right now. So have some patience, control yourself, and yeah, we'll see. All right, go ahead, bro.
So it says, it's the Prophet himself, he commands, do not beat the female slaves of Allah.
Mm-hmm. And what does it say
And
next?
somebody else says, O Messenger of Allah, the women
Who's that somebody
old
else? Who's the somebody
Umar.
else? Who's that?
One of the caliph, what do we call it?
One of the rightly guided caliphs.
Yeah.
He said what?
So order the beating of them, and they were beaten.
Okay, so why did he say he wants them to be beaten?
Because they were bold towards their husbands.
Okay. So I asked a Muslim earlier on, I'm going to ask you the same question. This beating that Umar is asking for right here, do you believe he's asking for the ability at this point to beat the wife, his wife, and then the other Muslim men to beat their wives with a miswak?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Do you believe that Umar is here requesting permission now to beat the women again with a light tap, a light miswak? Is that what you believe he's asking for here in this hadith?
That's what I would think so.
Okay. All right. So it says, you said, and they were beaten, right?
Yeah.
Who ordered that they could be beaten?
It doesn't necessarily say.
It doesn't necessarily say.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's go back. Umar came to who?
The Prophet.
Okay, he came to the Prophet. And Umar said, the women have become bold towards their husbands. The miswak is gone, and now they're piping up. So he says, order them to be beaten. And it says, and they were beaten. Mm-hmm. Who did he go and see?
The Prophet.
Who did he ask to order the beating?
So, but
who did he ask who did he ask to order the beating?
Yeah, he asked the Prophet, but I don't.
Hold on. So the third question now. So he went to see the Prophet. Mm-hmm. He asked the Prophet to order the beating, and then it says, and they were beaten. So who ordered the beating?
Based on what I see, I would think the Prophet, but my only issue. So again, for me to fully understand this hadith, I would need to research into the Arabic, because the beginning seems to contradict it, where the Prophet himself says, "Do not beat the female slaves of Allah."
No, it's not. My whole point is, if you read this hadith, it shows you that Muhammad was wishy-washy. He apparently ordered not to beat women, and then one of his right-hand men, Umar, one of the rightly guided caliphs, said, "Let's beat them again." He let them beat them again. So it shows you that he's flip-floppy. From one way, he'll say no, and then he'll say yes, apparently. But for some reason, you're saying you think it sounds like Muhammad. You can't say it was Muhammad that ordered them to be beaten. Why? Who did he go to see?
So again, I'm saying this because, especially with Sunnah.com, you would need to analyze the original Arabic to see to actually understand the hadith fully. So because there's a lot of issues. So I'm only saying this because I this is the first time I've read this hadith, and I don't feel I'd be able to give you a full perspective if I have not done that research. I'm just trying to be fair in that sense. I'm not trying to run away from the argument at all or anything.
All right. All right. So
I hope you can believe that's fair.
My whole point anyway was, it's hard for me. It's hard for me to read the hadith like this and think that Umar was asking for the miswak to come back. It's very hard to come to that conclusion when you read the hadith. It doesn't really sound like that's what he's asking for.
Yeah, no. So I agree. I agree with you, and I understand your argument or your point.
Well,
but
Ryan,
like I really wouldn't be able to.
I appreciate your honesty, bro. I appreciate you saying, look, you need to study it more. And I appreciate you saying, well, yeah, you agree that it sounds the way it sounds. So you can call back in at some point in the future. We had a good conversation. You were respectful for the most part. And this is the kind of conversation I want to have. I don't need to have a conversation with a Muslim and we're shouting all over the place and we can't control ourselves and all of that kind of stuff, right? This is how we have conversations and engage with stuff. So thank you for the conversation. It was a good conversation and hopefully we can talk again soon. Okay?
Oh yeah, of course. I appreciate it, man.
God bless, Brian.
I'm sorry I couldn't give the full.
No, bro, it's fine. It's fine, bro. It's fine. You don't have to apologize. It's fine. Like, in all honesty, I actually appreciate people who I speak to who, when they say they don't have an answer, if they generally don't have an answer, they just say they don't have an answer. That's what you're supposed to do. It's the same thing. If I don't have an answer, I just say, look, I don't know. It's fine. Like, that's how you learn and grow and get better and actually go to truth. So, you did well. You did well in how you answered. So don't apologize, bro. All right.
I appreciate it, man.
God bless, bro.
God bless.
All right. I would to God, most of the conversations would be like that. And imagine, guys, didn't I say to you earlier on, make sure you like, make sure you send in the hearts, make sure you share this out, because we read the Hadith, we read the Quran, we read their sources, and we still get restrictions on our live stream. We still get people complaining and reporting the live stream for what? Hate speech. Can you imagine? For hate speech. You can literally read Islamic sources and Muslims will go and report you and say you are saying hate speech. You cannot make this up. This is why I keep saying like it, like the live, send in the hearts, share it, subscribe, all of that stuff. Why? Because when you don't, this is the kind of stuff that happens. Notice, this is what happens. They keep complaining and reporting the live streams because they have no good answers to what we're talking about. Rayan, thanks for following. Appreciate you. And I agree. Some apologetics. The Bible says, love your wife. You can't get better than that. All right. And I agree. Like, we have to cancel Islamic sources then. Like, am I the only one that sees just the irony of this? You literally are reading their sources and they turn around and can report you for hate speech. Is that their way of like subtly saying that? Is that the way of subtly saying that? Yeah, like it is hate speech. Happy days. Thank you for following. Let's see. I agree. All right. Cracked. You're up. Thank you for liking the live. Happy days. Appreciate you. Cracked. You're up. Cracked. You're up. You can't make this up. This is someone who's apparently been saying, I need to speak to them. I need to hurry up and speak to them. And it's their time. You come to, welcome to the stream, and they don't even say anything. All right. See, they're back again. Let's try this again. Cracked. You're up. Hello? Hello? Apparently his mic's not working. He's not muted, but apparently his mic's not working. Fix your technology, man. All right, so we see the same thing over and over again. They come and talk, or they can't answer, they can't refute. You show them why Islam is bad for women, and Islam is a problem on all these different levels. Christianity is obviously different. Doesn't allow you to strike your wife, doesn't allow you to view them as the dumbest people ever, anything along those lines, they start reporting you. Cracked. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, so you just said that Christianity doesn't allow you to beat your wife. That is funny. So let's go to Thomas Aquinas, the doctor of your theology.
Is Thomas Aquinas Genesis to Revelation?
Yeah, so what are you then?
Is Thomas Aquinas Genesis to Revelation?
Depends on what kind of Christian you are.
Get off my stage, man. Get off my stage. You dumb Muslim. This is Islam for you. You know, let me even take that back. Let me not generalize. This is that Muslim for you. Yes, you got dropped because you're talking nonsense. You can't answer a simple question, which already destroys your belief system. You came up here coming to quote Thomas Aquinas as if Thomas Aquinas is the Holy Spirit. And you think we're going to have a conversation. Why would we have a conversation? Why would I have a conversation? I literally, yes, that is a good one. A cracked egg brain. I normally say the Hebrew Israelites are their scrambled egg. That was a cracked egg, definitely. I let you up, and you couldn't answer a simple question. Okay, let's try this again. I'll give you one more chance. Is Thomas Aquinas Genesis to Revelation? Answer that question. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay. Listen. Hold on. Is Thomas Aquinas Genesis to Revelation?
Okay.
Yes or no?
Depends. Depends. Well, to me, no. Depends. If you're Catholic, yeah. Am I wrong on that? Like.
So to a Catholic, to a Roman Catholic, okay, Thomas Aquinas is Genesis to Revelation.
Well, not necessarily. He's an interpreter of Revelation.
What did you say? What did you say?
He's an interpreter of Revelation.
No, what did you say before that?
So I'm telling you.
How did you start the sentence? Just repeat those words again, please. Just repeat what you said before you said.
Why are you lawyering me? Like I'm just a bit confused. Like, do you not want to get into the content, or what's going on?
Bro, I literally said to you before I even brought you onto the live stream.
No.
Okay. I literally said to you before you came on the live stream, you're already doing stuff which isn't a good look. Even despite that, I brought you into the conversation.
Can we talk about the subject on
here? And then I brought you into the conversation, and I asked you one question, and you for some reason couldn't answer the question, and you started diverting and.
The question is if Thomas Aquinas is giving revelation. Is that what you're saying? Can you hear me?
The problem is.
Hello, sir.
Problem is everyone can hear you. That's the problem.
Okay, that's the problem.
Don't call back.
So
don't call back. I don't want to talk to you again. I can't talk to. I don't want to talk to someone who is so slow. Can't make this up. The double talk and contradictory nature is why I'm not going to talk to you again. You just said yes if you're a Catholic, and then you said not necessarily. And you're wondering why I don't want to talk to you anymore. Because you already showed me before I even spoke to you that it's likely going to be problematic. And then, if that wasn't even as bad enough, I start asking you questions, and you keep diverting. And he keeps trying to call in, by the way. He thinks I'm actually going to talk to him today. He's had his chance. This is not the kind of person I want to speak to towards the end of a live stream. No way. No way. No way. No way. This was apparently a guy who said he's going to destroy me and all this different kind of stuff. And Good luck with that, bro. Good luck with that. Stop trying to call in. I'm not going to talk to you. It's a wrap. I'm done with you. My goodness. He literally keeps trying to call in, and he thinks I'm going to speak to him again today. He thinks I'm going to speak to him again. I'm not going to speak to him. I don't understand what he doesn't understand about this. The egg has cracked all over the place, clearly, so much so that he thinks trying to call in again and again and again is going to help him uncrack the egg. Bro, the egg is cracked. You've cracked the egg. I'm not going to help you scoop it all back together. That's not how this is going to work. You're done, bro. You're done, bro. Jamaican parents. Ronald says, Jamaican parents born in England. I'm surprised after reading the Quran anybody could stay in this religion. I'm surprised too. But here's what it is. When you've got people like this cracked egg who keeps trying to call in after he's already shown there's not much going on upstairs, this is why. He's literally calling in saying, listen, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good. Literally calling in after I've said, I don't want to talk to you again anymore today. He says he's going to be good. Do you see he's still contradicting himself and he doesn't even understand. He still keeps trying to call in. Repeatedly, he's trying to call in. Oh, let me do this, in fact. All right, guys. What are we gonna do? Do this. My goodness. All right. The same way people went to live in seclusion and drank the Kool-Aid, a combination of brainwashing, familiarity, and that good old apostasy law. Yep. That sounds about right. You think about the conversations we've had today. How many people have all right, you know what? I'll tell you something, right? One of the reasons even most of these conversations even began to start to last a bit longer is because, you know what? I said, you know what? Let me give people more grace. So we'll give him one more chance, all right? We'll give him one more chance. One more chance. Before we continue, Cracked, right? I want you to thank everyone on the live stream. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't even talk to you again today.
Oh, you want me to thank them?
Maybe just okay. Because next time, because I was done with you today.
Okay. Can we talk about the Bible then?
Okay.
Alrighty.
No, hold on. You're a Muslim, yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Quran and Hadith or Quran only?
Quran and Hadith.
Okay.
So,
bro, hold on.
Alrighty.
Okay, hold on.
So, may I ask you though?
You said
me, right?
You said initially.
Yes, sir.
That it's funny that I said Christianity doesn't allow you to beat your wife. You remember saying that, right?
Yep.
Okay. Are you willing to revise that, or you want to continue down that pathway of belief?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So the Bible's actually worse than Thomas Aquinas, because Thomas Aquinas is only advocating.
If the Bible was worse than Thomas Aquinas, why did you start with Thomas Aquinas?
Yeah, because I wanted to get scholarship going first, but
that's
okay.
that's a good one. They reported you for true speech.
So does the Bible not say to cut off a woman's hand as a punishment?
Does Quran say you can cut off women's hands for punishment?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
But
it doesn't.
Deuteronomy 25.
Doesn't. You said it doesn't. You said it doesn't.
To cut off women's hands.
In the Quran? Is there verses that punt that? Is in the Quran, bro?
Yeah. Okay.
In the Quran, yes. You asked me a question. I'm asking you a question. In the Quran, are there verses, or at least one verse, which brings down judgment? Yeah. Which brings down judgment for chopping off someone's hand?
Okay. Yeah. There is punishments like that, but it depends on what it is.
Okay. Hold on. That punishment, those punishment verses in the Quran, are they only for men, only for women, or can both people?
I don't appreciate that you keep butting in and you're not allowing me to speak. Okay, that's number one. But I understand what you're trying to ask.
Can you answer the question?
Yes, for both. Yes, for both. But
okay.
But that's for specific other punishments. In your Bible,
that's not the point.
Protecting your husband.
That's not the point.
Simply protecting him, your hand gets cut off.
No, it's not simply. It's not simply protecting them. It's not simply protecting them. There's different ways you can protect someone. That isn't one of the ways the Bible. That isn't one of the ways the Bible allows you to protect your husband. So, for example, hold on. So, for example,
yes, sir.
If two men are fighting, I don't know, maybe because in Islam, like there's the whole striking women thing and all that kind of stuff. A woman shouldn't be getting involved. A woman shouldn't be getting involved between a fight between two men. Other men should be getting involved, if anything.
What if it's to protect your life? Like I don't understand, man.
If it's to protect your life,
it must be something serious.
If it's to protect if it's to protect life, if it's to protect life,
okay.
What do you think? Grabbing a husband's private parts.
Yeah, I can explain.
What do you think that's trying to do to the life which is in the person's loins?
Sure, I'll explain.
So no, I don't need you to explain. I don't need you to explain.
Because you're asking me a question. I'll explain it, man.
Okay. What are you gonna explain?
Yeah. So you're saying, why is that necessary to basically assault a person in that way, right?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay. So what are you asking?
I said, because you said, oh well, this may be to protect life. That's what you said, right?
To protect him, like she's gonna step in by nature to. Like that's natural. If you see someone you love getting attacked, you're gonna come in there and protect them.
And you said protecting life, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So my point was the life which God is protecting in the man which is in his loins. Do you understand that, or you don't understand that?
Okay. So do you know anything about? So let's say this then. You're basically making this. Argument that his genitalia is containing children or future offspring, and your God wants to protect those offspring despite his crimes, correct?
Does it contain future offspring or not?
I mean, I don't know. If the guy's nuts does, I don't know. Why are you asking me that? Can we get into the conversation?
Bro,
like I'm trying to explain to you why that's necessary. Bro,
you mentioned this verse. And bear in mind, just so everyone was listening, if you missed it, he tried to go the Thomas Aquinas route. That didn't work. He said
it did work. It was about to work. But
he then went on to say the Bible's even worse. And the first thing he went into the Bible was a passage in Deuteronomy, which is talking about chopping off a hand. This is apparently. Can I talk? This is apparently what's even worse. So I now immediately asked him, are there verses in the Quran which talk about chopping off somebody's hand, which apply to a man and a woman? He said yes.
listen, if there's something wrong, if there's something someone does wrong, hold to it, okay? But what is wrong with defending your life or someone else's life? That doesn't make sense. Okay, that's number one. Number two, women, I haven't seen classes of this. They usually tell you to go for the privates because, especially as a woman, you don't really have much power. The, that is more of a sensitive area, and therefore you can attack that person there and run away. So that's how it's usually even told or taught to in self-defense classes. So that's just one of many things in your Bible that goes against women inherently. Okay.
When being
Even
attacked
like
one-on-one.
what? Okay, so let's say this.
See,
Let's say
I don't even need to debunk you. The comments, the people in the comments, excuse me, can debunk what you're saying.
Uh-huh. So we're thinking this is some sort of high school fight where they're just fighting one-on-one. How do we know that? How do we know someone attacking you as a man? Let's say you have a wife, or if you do or whatnot. I don't know if you do, but let's say someone attacks you, comes in your home, attacks you. Some obviously maybe your wife's probably going to throw a chair at the guy or something to get him away, right?
Throwing a chair,
something to get him away.
Throwing a chair is different. Would you agree?
No, it's absolutely not. It's because the attack on his genitalia.
They're not the same thing.
To deter him.
They're not the same thing.
It's the same thing because it's an assault on him to get him away, basically. Yeah. I don't know what you're trying to argue. So you okay? Hold on. So let's say this. If it's going to cause damage to his genitalia, what's your criteria? Is it that it's causing damage to his privates, or is it that it's causing damage to him? What is the criteria exactly?
The criteria for what? What makes it wrong? What makes it wrong?
Yeah. What makes self-defense wrong?
No, we're not talking about self-defense. This is not self-defense because the woman isn't in a fight with the man, so it's not self-defense. Do you know what self-defense is?
But what if he comes after her? That's the thing.
Did it say he came after her? Or did it say she jumped in?
So if someone attacks your wife and you jump in, does that mean it's not self-defense? Come on.
That's not, bro. If someone's fighting with my wife and I now jump in,
okay. It's not self-defense?
I'm jumping in.
Okay,
this is why I asked you, do you know what self-defense is?
So it's not self-defense. That's not self-defense? You're not protecting your family there?
Protecting your family, your family and self-defense are two different things. You do understand that, right? If someone breaks into your house, and starts fighting you and you retaliate, that's self-defense. If two people are fighting and I jump into the fight, that's not self-defense because nobody hit me.
Okay, I have a question though. This is what's kind of stunning me. The simple fact, like even thinking about it from the women's lens. Okay, let's say the man is now down. He lost the fight. What's stopping that guy from coming after the woman too? Is she supposed to wait after he loses? Like, I don't understand. What are you thinking exactly?
I'm thinking that, like I said to you before, the woman should not get involved in the fight.
Okay, that's fine then. Well,
it would be better for the guy's brother or like someone else to jump in or to stop the fight. Why would the woman get involved in the fight?
That is very silly to think that there would even be a brother there or anything. But okay, that's fine. If you want to
why wouldn't there be a brother there?
Okay, I don't live near my uncles. That's number one. There are people out there who don't live by their family at all. That doesn't make sense.
But there are people that do live by their family too, though, right?
Okay, but there isn't, right?
But there are people that live. Did I say only your brother? No.
I didn't just say only. Okay, but there could be a possibility. They just don't. Why I bring up brother is because I'm just making an emphasis about family in general. Maybe there's no male family around. Maybe there's no male friends around to help. Okay, but that's besides the point. If you want to cope about it, I mean, I know I don't know any other way to get you to concede, but
what am I conceding to? I let you.
that your
I let you.
Bible commands women to get their hands cut
I
off
let you
for
go
an
to.
unjust reason.
I let you go to the Bible and talk about a verse.
Yes, sir.
You already been obliterated with this verse.
How so? How so?
But you're still here, not under like you want me to concede to just nonsense when I didn't need to concede to anything.
Nonsense? That doesn't make sense. Why would you get your hand cut off if you're defending your loved one? That has no sense at all. And it specifically says wife. It's not like a random woman. Okay, so I don't know, man.
All right,
that's some copium right there.
all right,
But
cool.
okay.
Copium. That was your best. Okay, now.
That was not my best. Definitely.
Okay, well, it wasn't your best.
Especially when you're God Yahweh.
Thomas Aquinas wasn't your best, and now Deuteronomy 25 wasn't your best either. Okay, now.
Why does it need to be my best? Why does it need to be?
Because
why can't it just be an argument?
I would think you should bring your best. You said before we even spoke, you're gonna destroy my religion or whatever you were saying.
Well, yeah.
And like
I got
and like everyone that's listening, you know what's actually so funny? Well, yeah, I've actually been questioning as we've been speaking if you're actually a Muslim. That's how impressive you've been. I'm actually questioning if you're Muslim. This the kind of stuff you've been saying and the kind of arguments you made. I'm pretty sure Muslims who are listening to this are probably going to question if you're a Muslim.
Huh. Okay.
All right.
Anyway, so
no. No, we're going to talk about the Quran now. We're going to talk about the Quran now. Why are you laughing? Why are you embarrassed? Why are you shook?
Go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I gave you an opportunity to talk about the Bible. We spoke about something.
All right. So after this, I'm going to go off the Bible.
Now let's talk about the Quran. Okay, cool.
All righty.
All right. So, what should we talk about? What do you think, guys? What should we talk about with this Muslim? This apparent Muslim.
So you're questioning whether or not I'm Muslim. Okay.
Of course I question if you're a Muslim.
How come? I'm curious.
Because if I was a Muslim and I was listening to you, I would be embarrassed. That's why.
Huh.
I don't think you did good. Honestly. I'm like literally I'm telling you the truth. I don't think you did good. So I would be.
No, you had to say that there's women can't defend their husbands.
I didn't say that.
Okay, go ahead.
I didn't say that.
You did.
I didn't say that.
And you said that a brother should just go in instead.
I didn't say that.
That's fine.
I literally did not say that.
Really? Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So continue with your argument.
We literally spoke.
Zechariah 14.
We literally spoke about throwing a chair and how there's different things that a woman could do if she was going to do something. But apparently somehow I said she can't defend. This is like, you're slow, bro. This is why I didn't want to talk to you. Mm-hmm. It's only the grace.
So are you going to bring up your argument or should I bring up Zechariah 14, 1-2?
All right.
Are you going to keep coping?
I don't, I don't understand why, like, you're saying I'm coping. I actually felt like you were going to actually bring something.
You're making any like type of argument under the sun to just justify this illogical ruling by your God Yahweh. We could also get into other rulings.
Who made?
Of him.
Yeah, obviously. Okay. Obviously, you think you've got all the answers, don't you? All right.
Do you? You got all the answers?
No, I don't have all the answers.
Really? So why are you preaching here? Why do you have a live stream trying to guide people?
Because I've got answers to what we're talking about. Clearly.
Okay.
Clearly. I don't think any Christian who heard what you said felt like any bit of rock into their faith from what you said. It was strengthened. You're here. Oh my goodness. Okay? You know what? Let's talk about. Should we do? Let's do. All right.
I would like to talk about the thing you were talking about with the guy.
Okay, which guy? Which guy?
The guy before me.
Which guy?
The guy before me. You were talking about the wife beating.
Okay, what about him? What about him? Is wife beating good or bad?
I'd like you to pull up Sunan Ibn Majah, 1851.
Why? What does it say?
Can you do it, please?
No, you open it and tell bro, when I'm talking, when I
want you to put it in the screen share.
When I'm bringing up a hadith, I show it.
Okay.
You say,
yeah.
go to this particular hadith. You tell us what it says. What's the hadith?
Confused. Why don't you want to see it? Okay, Sinan.
I didn't say I want to. I didn't want to see it. 1851.
Because it might accidentally debunk your entire argument. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, Sinan ibn Majah, 1851.
Okay. What makes you think I haven't seen this hadith before? I haven't spoken about this hadith on a live stream before. What makes you think that?
Okay, so what's your rebuttal to that?
What makes you think that?
I just joined and I saw that guy you were talking to. That's why. That's what makes me think it. So what's your rebuttal to that?
Well, one of the rebuttals is, or make the argument on the hadith, and then I'll give rebuttals.
Okay, the Prophet, you're basically in your debate with the other guy before.
Yep.
He was saying like it was light beatings, and you were kind of basically being a skeptic towards it being interpreted as light beatings.
Why?
And so this is
why was I being skeptical and finding it hard to believe that it's talking about light beatings?
I don't know. Man.
What was my reasoning? You said you heard the conversation, so what did I say? What did I say? There's no way you can quote my point, but you can't also quote my reasoning. That doesn't make sense.
I'm not quoting your point.
That means you had selective hearing. I said it's hard to believe it's a light tap. Why did I say it's hard to believe it's a light tap? And why did that caller agree with me as well? Why did he say, yeah, I can understand what you're saying?
I'm confused why you keep asking questions and you're not actually like engaging in the subject.
Because
and you don't even want to screen share it. That's also funny.
because asking questions is a very good way for people to learn things. It causes you to think and open your mind and like actually think about stuff. Your brain needs to be open, clearly, because it's cracked all over the side pavement right now. Sidewalk.
Nah, I just cracked the cross. That's all. That's cracked.
Okay, you didn't crack anything. You really didn't crack anything. This is my whole point. The reason I said that it's hard to take the Islamic sources seriously is because there's so much contradictory stuff in it. So I never disputed that there are hadith which say don't strike women or treat women good or whatever it is. But there's also a hadith which contradict it and say something completely different and showcase that it's not just a light beating. That's the problem that you have, the major problem that you have.
Okay, I want to know how does it contradict? Because that's from him. I don't understand. You from your point of view, you believe that Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the author of the Quran, correct? So, and here he is giving you believe Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the author of the Quran, correct?
I'm agnostic to that. He could be, he may not be.
Okay. Well, I forgot. Yeah, you guys have.
It's not really like. I'm more interested in what you believe about the Quran. It's your book that you hold to, so that's why.
Sure.
That's why I open it.
No, I believe that. Yeah. So basically, I believe Allah Subhanahu wa Taala revealed it. So, and He gave knowledge to the Prophet. That's why we take the Hadith, right? And the Prophet himself is teaching that you shouldn't leave marks or anything. And I'm a bit confused why you were able to show that hadith, but you can't show this. Is there a reason for that, or like are you scared it might have like something bad? Like you can review it and then you can share it.
No, I already said to you. You said the reference Ibn Majah 1851. I've read this hadith and spoken about this hadith on live streams before. Like, okay. It's not like there's no reason why I haven't shown it up until now, and we can see it now. That's why I said to you. That's why I said to you, explain the argument. What like it's
I did explain.
It's not that deep. Explain. No, because you're now accusing me of not wanting to show the hadith as if there's something in there that I'm afraid of.
Okay. Well, I don't know. You were saying for me to share it. I don't know why. I'm not. I
Yeah,
don't even think I could share
when
anything.
when I said share, I meant as in you give your argument, you present what you want to present from it.
Oh, okay.
You could you could go to it, you could read some parts of it, you can say X, Y, Z. That was my point.
Are you still confused on my argument though, or?
No, I heard your argument. This is
By the way, I'm sharing the room, so don't mind the laugh.
Yeah. I think that was quite obvious from quite a while ago.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But yeah, okay. Like I've said my one rebuttal to this already. I'll say it again. This is a hadith which apparently says, "Don't cause injury, don't leave marks." There's other hadith where marks are being left. There's other hadith where
that one.
There's other hadith where
I saw that.
There's other hadith where he's ordering the beating of women, and it's clearly serious beatings, not miswak beatings and all this kind of stuff. But even I said serious beatings. But even if you don't cause an injury or leave a mark, that doesn't, like, you seem to think that dresses it up to the point where it makes it acceptable. Okay, so let's say we disregard all of the hadith where Muhammad is ordering the beating of women. Or Muhammad, we looked at a hadith earlier where it says Muhammad struck Aisha. Or we look at another hadith.
Exodus 21.
My goodness.
That's okay.
In Exodus 21, does it talk about beating a wife?
Oh yeah. So male or female slave.
Does it
beat her to all hell unless you don't.
My goodness.
If you don't kill her.
My goodness.
You know, as a matter of fact, you can injure her.
What was the question? What was the question I asked you? Does that passage talk about a husband beat?
Oh, it needs to be a wife now.
No, it doesn't.
A woman, isn't it?
No, it doesn't. That's not the point. You're too slow to even get the point I'm making. We're literally talking about beating a wife, a husband beating a wife. You now quote a different passage, and I ask you, is it a passage which is talking about a husband beating a wife? You said, did you? It's not a passage.
It's similar.
No, it's not.
You're
and this is the funniest thing. This is the funniest thing. The passage you're quoting where it talks about if they don't die, then there's no punishment. It's literally talking about life for life. But you're too slow to even know these things.
I think you were too slow to realize that it literally says if the slave recovers after a day or two, since the slave is their property. So meaning they're dismissed if they recover in a day or two.
They will not be punished.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it says?
Yeah.
And the Hebrew word there is a Hebrew word which is nakam, which is talking about if they recover, if i.e. you didn't kill them, you're not going to die. Again, this is why you're too slow. Because you actually think you're doing stuff good, which is good, but you're not. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand.
Are you serious? I had to process that. Are you serious? Like, you're trying to argue that.
What did you have to process?
The entire theme of the Bible of slavery is saying it's okay and acceptable and to mistreat them. Do you realize that? Right. Come on, let's not be disingenuous here.
All right, I'm being disingenuous. I'm being disingenuous. I literally made a point.
You're trying to say,
I made a point, and you haven't even addressed the point. You've just done.
I did.
You've just laughed all over the place because
I did address
the point I made. You didn't it didn't even process in your head clearly.
So did they get beatings? Does the slave owner get a beating if they beat their slave?
What did I just? What? No.
Because you're saying it's like a life for a life. That's what you said, right?
Yes, based on the Hebrew word nakam, which is in the verse, which is in the verse. You're talking about.
Okay. So do they get a beating?
It's a wrap, man. It's a wrap. My grace only goes too far, man. I'm just gonna be real. Taking verses out of context and ignoring when the context is given. This is why I didn't want to talk to that kind of guy, because you can already see it. you're speaking to them. Like, even before, like I said, before you even have the conversation, some of the stuff they're saying and doing, it's already obvious that the egg is cracked egg. All right, it's been over 3 hours. I think that is a good place to wrap this up. We had multiple callers, and those conversations, I guess, can speak for themselves. Again, I'm going to thank you all for tuning in, live, commenting, sharing, following, subscribing, sending in the hearts. I want to thank you all as well. For those of you who are sending in gifts, I appreciate you. All of the support is like, I thank you for all of the support, and I pray that God blesses you richly. The current schedule right now is Mondays and Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UK. Mondays and Wednesdays, right? So if the schedule permits, I may do another live stream before then, but Monday and Wednesday, every week, same time, same place, we will be live. And every time we go live, I'm going to be showing you how to defend your faith as a Christian against different arguments. So today we looked at Islam, and we looked at a video today at the beginning, which was, again, lies and deceit from a popular Muslim making a video talking about how Islam honors women more than Christianity. And again, this is another live stream again, which just shows you how it doesn't. And when you even speak to these different Muslims, they have no answers, no good answers anyway. So if you like this sort of stuff, definitely like it, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on Monday by the grace of God with a new live stream showing you again how to defend your faith against Christianity, whether it be dealing with Orthodox Judaism, attacks against Christianity, whether it be Hebrew Israelite attacks against Christianity, atheist attacks against Christianity, or like we did today, Islamic attacks against Christianity. Thank you all again. God bless you all, and I'll see you soon. God bless, guys. And again, thank you all for tuning in and making this a blessed live stream.